a bash. And, well, he basically blamed fossil fuels on this Texas flooding situation and said they were predictable. Unfortunately, he didn't predict it nor warn anybody, which is a little odd to me, but here you go.
So just that last part of what we were describing, you keep hearing once in a lifetime, once in 100 years, once in 1,000 years. At this point, it's not anymore. It's just where we are with the climate and the environment.
Oh, that's, as we like to say, our side of it, the science side of it. This is exactly what was predicted. It's very difficult to tie any one weather event to climate change. However, the warm weather events are actually easier to tie to climate change. And so the other problem that happened in the hill country in Texas is this business of the Balcony escarpment, where the air mass got lifted. So it spread out and the rain came down even faster. But it'll happen again, to your point. And everybody's talked about this for years. What are we going to do about it is the ancient question. And it would be to stop burning fossil fuels. When you're in a hole, stop digging and so on. But the fossil fuel industry has been very successful in getting organizations like the U.S. Congress to think that it's really not happening.
All right. I'm not happy with this guy, but I'm going to try to play the high road on this because he's just an actor, right? He's an actor. That's why.
Do you even realize you're on screen when I do that, Pete? Yo, Loadzzz.
What? When you're? I know. I don't realize that. Was my
disgusting?
Was my disgusting? Hey, by the way, out of respect, I read the chat. Fitzy, I would not spend $400 to golf on a windy Bahamas course. How nice could it possibly be? I would actually maybe invest that money, which everybody on here seems to do well, for a trip to go play at Pebble Beach or somewhere. Hey, Mr. White. Also, I mean, I got to say, I don't have any precious metal, but I am invested in a mutual fund based on how silver does. So if silver goes up, but I don't have any silver itself. So I'm,
Speaking of silver, say hi to your hoe for her birthday for me, Pete. It's Maxine Lowe's birthday.
Yeah,
and I say hi to Ho Silver. See what we did there? See we did? Oh, I'm slow out of the gate. I jumped rope today. What else did I do? That's really all I did today. But it was a bitch ass jump rope in that heat, Loadzzz.
Yeah, I didn't. I just ran on the treadmill today, and I was going to mow the lawn, but the lawn, it was too wet.
For her birthday? You were going to mow the lawn for her birthday? I bet it was soaking wet. That's how Loadzzz do. That's how Loadzzz do. Yeah, Max gave it to Maxine last night. Diesel Cat is right.
At any rate, shout out to Johnny Claire. 2 ingots just stole my truck, so we're off and running. And Johnny, I have actually been to the Bahamas.
Really?
And we went on that Disney cruise, and one of the stops was the Bahamas. So we were there for a day.
I never knew that. How was the Disney cruise, Loadzzz?
It was great. I was very apprehensive regarding being on a boat at all. But
really?
Yeah.
Why's that?
I get seasick. I can't go on a merry-go-round. But I will say,
you get seasick? I never knew. I got seasick once in my life, and it's the worst. Don't get me wrong.
I get motion sickness. I'm glad Curtis John is here. Curtis John, the Alex Bradleys have been fantastic.
I sent him the picture, by the way.
Yeah,
I wonder that was a great time. I'll check for a link or something.
They're quickly catching. They may have passed the Olivas. They're a different kind of good. I like the Alex Bradleys.
Did I not? And did I not even say to you the Alec Bradleys are really fucking good? And Pete, I'm not Mr. Oh, this is such a good cigar, but they're good. I can't not. I literally texted the wife. I'm out of sticks. I'm like, if you could find a stick on the way home, I would love you for that.
By the way, before we went on that Disney cruise like 9 years ago. I got on that boat and I weighed like 160 pounds. I ate double dinners every night. So you could just eat everything. And on the Disney cruise, they have soft serve.
Said the same thing to Maxine when you got to the fucking cabin, didn't you? You could just eat anything. Put whatever you want in your mouth. You're not going to gain any weight, baby. Huh? You are in ship shape, if you know what I mean. Were you talking? You go. You do it. You do it. Ooh, ooh. Here's a text from Curtis John. Go on, Pete.
They also have like soft serve ice cream machines on every deck. And Gene, it's chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. And you wouldn't have thought, like the first day, I'm like, what's this? Every day. I was hitting those things 3-4 times. I didn't pass one. And the part you'll enjoy the most is they did not let me use the facility in our cabin when I had a movement coming.
Why?
So
because
I had to go
of the awful things you did?
So I had to go find a public bathroom anytime I had to go. So there's one night I'm walking around the ship. It's like 11:30 at night, and the kids are all on the cruise, and they see me walking around. They're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm looking for a bathroom," because they wouldn't let me use the bathroom in our room.
That's awful, Loadzzz.
But I will say this: I was very hesitant. I love the cruise. It was great time. Food was good. I didn't get motion sickness. It was good. I would do it again.
When did you got to tell me, when did you ever get motion sickness is my question.
Gene, I used to get car sick when we go on trips.
Have you ever, so you were wary of getting motion sickness because of you used to get car sick, whatever, in cars, but you've never been.
Yeah, and weren't you there? We were at Great Adventure. I'm not. We did the lightning loops at Great Adventure. And
of course, I was next to you.
Yeah, I got off and vomited. Yeah.
Yes.
I
so
can't.
That makes sense, but like I got seasick once, and it's terrible. And I would have, if you ever got seasick, I would have thought I would have remembered you doing it. I'm not making light of you. Now I get it. You know what I mean?
And the worst, Maxine's brother had a boat, and it stalled in oh my God, what's the bay up there? Barnegat Bay. It stalled.
The Bay of Gary Biscayne?
Yes, that one. Barnegat Bay. It stalled, and it was the day after the wiffle ball tournament we used to have. And the night before, I finished that whole bottle of tequila with some kid, and I was just green. I was a mess. And when we finally got back to the house, I just laid down, and every couple hours, I'd wake up and be like, still moving.
Oh,
it was awful.
Now, I'd like to let's get things rolling. It looks like something purple just popped up. That means two things, Loadzzz. I mean, I know that's what you said last night when the clock, the L is silent in that statement. No, I'll tell you, it wasn't silent. The L, Maxine wasn't silent when Loadzzz gave her the L. Why can't I hold on? I'm trying to do too much. Hold on. Share screen. Thank you. I gotta find the purple helmet. J Ham Stoneface gifted 10 fucking subs. Fucking thank God.
Thanks,
guys,
J-Ham.
doing the Lord's work. It's so important. I had to put this up before a video that was sent to me by your dear friend Curtis John. Absolute Scenes gets a membership. Jaquan gets one. JJ gets one. Gay Bitches gets one. Texan Patty P. Diesel Cat, you get one. Blood Harvester, damn son, you get one. This show is making me sick. Good one, Sweet Lou. There you go. Mr. White finally for his $500 gets a membership. Smartass gets one. I love it. 3 days of tuna fishing throws your equilibrium off for a couple days. And hold on really quickly. I know I missed someone threw
I would have died.
Pete used his rope to tie the ship down at the port. Pete, he's talking about your penis.
I get it. Pete? Everybody, you don't have to explain. Everybody gets it.
I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, when your running mate knows, they know.
By the way, shout out Curtis John, who said, hey, Gene, thanks for letting me hang out with you and Pete. Of course, we have the video Loadzzz. You recall this, right, Pete? You recall this?
I don't.
Does this look familiar?
It doesn't look familiar, Gene.
Well, maybe.
No, it does not look familiar.
I love this one. Look at your tiny little nubby fingers. Yeah. Thanks to both of you. I had a blast. Oh, Pete.
Gene, what? goes on.
I can't. Hey, Pete, the guy gave you cigars. The least you could do.
No,
is
no, I truly appreciate it. I just can't. You bring out the best in people, Gene. You've moved it to a whole nother level.
It's what I do. I don't know where the purple helmet is. Is it in here? Here.
How can you lose that, you moron?
Oh no, it's in. I have my bucket of cords, and it goes different places. There you go. By the way, did you see this little thing from our boy ACDC? Shout out. Did you see this? How about Dan Bongino not showing up for work today? Rumor is he's resigning.
I saw that.
You go, Pete. I'm sorry.
No, I just saw that. And it's rumor. He's very upset with Bondi, and he's going to leave. Which I
okay, but let me ask you. Let me ask you
I don't know
this.
if it's true.
Let me ask you this, Pete. If he's and again the internet in and out all day. Fucking, I can't eat. Oh, I'm on that old one, Pete. Okay, if he's upset with her, what the fuck am I doing? Jesus Christ, Gene, you know how a camera works. If he's upset with her, maybe it's because this is why. Rephrased. Why would he be upset with her when he said he killed himself? When he's acting like it's no big deal. And obviously, I disagree with that. They're all pissed at Bondi, says EK. But why are you pissed at her if you're the one that said first he killed himself? We have video footage, Pete.
Because they're still, I would say because they're still investigating. Why would you say anything? And by the way, apparently this memo that came out, from what I understand, was not signed.
Whenever I hear the word memo, I think of Bronson Pin's show in Risky Business. He made the memo minder, and you hit the click, and it goes memo, memo, memo. Do you remember that?
I do not remember that scene of Risky Business, amazingly enough.
Do you remember this scene of Risky Business, Pete?
No, Gene, I don't. Gene, stop! What's wrong with you?
I'm not gonna make it, Pete. I'm not gonna make it.
So, look.
I love Jaquan. Are we still talking about this creep?
Right.
And that was not like. I'll stop interrupting. Go, big brother. Go. I'm sorry.
I'm glad Jaquan put that out there. So everybody with the Trump ball washing. So now we have two things that I don't know that I agree with Trump on. So you can all hear it.
Curtis John and Mr. White are doing it. Make them stop. Guys, Pete, I'll take care of this. I'll take it.
No.
Guys, can we be serious, please? No, when I bring Peter back.
No, oh my God. See, I know what you're doing. Everybody knows what you're doing. All I'm saying is I didn't like the way Trump responded to that question. So there's one thing. I didn't like that.
I'm going to interrupt you again. You didn't like the way, but I heard there's two ways to look at it. By you saying you didn't like the way, and I shouldn't interrupt you, but I love talking this shit with you and picking your brain because a lot of people liked it because they think there was an ulterior motive. But go back to you, Pete. I will stop interrupting you. Go on.
Johnny Claire. It's a serious political discussion.
Let me explain. He's being sarcastic.
I get what he's doing.
He says terrible things about Rosa Parks in the Navy, Pete. I don't respect him.
I'm pissing up a wall here. So what I was saying is, I just think
on the way, pissing it up a wall. Go on.
If he wanted to respond with that way, he didn't have to say it. He could have just said, "Look, the jury's still out on that. We're still looking into it. I don't know where this memo came from because the memo wasn't signed or anything else. Yeah, not a great week of administration. Yeah, still right." Like what Mr. White said there. So I don't like the way he answered that question.
Yeah, I was looking at that. Yeah.
I'm hoping that it's because Trump has all the information, and why would you release it and give up all your leverage? You got these people by the short hairs. Like this is now you're working for me, Trump's telling them. Now I have it, and I decide when we release it. So you're gonna pay your 5% to NATO. You're gonna, do what I say on these different issues. You're going to have peace in all these different countries.
Right.
I'm hoping, but I just thought there was a better way to answer it than he did. And the second thing I'm not thrilled with is he agreed to continue sending some weapons
Is
to the
the
Ukraine.
black?
I'm not
You
sure
said
what
this
weapons.
countless times. You're not thrilled with the blacks.
I didn't say
I'll
that
talk to over you.
anytime.
Hold on, real
No
fast.
time.
Tosca, here's 5 for the FBI agent. Please check Curtis John's hard drive. Sorry about that, Pete. What's the second thing you're not pleased with? I tried to make a dumb joke and talked right over you.
That's
Go
fine.
ahead. I'm
It's
sorry.
I'm sure the internet's going to get better in New York when Mondami gets elected. No, the other thing was he agreed to send some sort of military stuff to the Ukraine again, and I don't necessarily agree with that.
Yeah. What do we
as
think
you
of that?
see, right? As you see, not a ball washer. I'll call what I disagree with him on. However, like Mr. White said, I 100% on balance, Trump's killing it. You know what I mean? Tony Gwynn didn't get hit every time, just about. You know what I mean? And Trump's swings and misses aren't disastrous. On balance, he has been so ridiculously successful. That's why even these things I disagree with, okay, they're minor. I'm not going to agree with him on everything. Like I said, Gene, only person you agree with on everything is your wife. See what I did there? That's not true.
You keep telling me that. I'm not good with that. I'm not good with that.
For you, the only person you disagree with on everything is your wife.
I can't help it. I can't help it that she thinks. Did you see Kamala? Okay. See your girl Kamala Harris was too stupid to do a fucking a short attention span podcast. Did you see that?
Yes, I did see that.
She literally said bacon is a spice, which she's too stupid to be clever. Do you understand? She's too fucking stupid. They're like, oh, this is such a clever take. And when she does it, he's like, this is he literally stopped the interview in the middle and said, guys, this isn't, I don't think I'm going to be able to. And then they're like, no, this is good. It's better than shoes off at TSA. And then he fucking edits it 8 different ways. Like, I think it works this way. Like, and they look at him and literally say what he's supposed to say in the whole fucking interview. We can't use this. Yes, because you're fucking bringing a stupid cunt into my interview.
Again, I like Johnny Clare. I'm honored that you would call me a Putin ball washer now. No, I just think those two countries or Europe, whatever, they got to figure it out on their own. That's their backyard. That's their house. Granted, the CIA put the Ukraine in this situation. I have no doubt about that. Victoria Nuland, Assistant Secretary of State under Biden, and the CIA got Zelensky in, didn't let him make peace with Russia. So I understand we have some culpability, but they're gone, and now you got to let them figure it out. That's all. And
by the way,
I can't help it if Putin's stronger than the Ukraine at this point. You know what I mean? Like, what am I supposed to do? They got into it. They have to end it. Europe has to figure it out. They're not coming here.
By the way, is this true? Is this true? Bob Patrice said she said bacon is a spice to she said it to a Muslim, not to Muslims. Yeah. She's stupid. She's a stupid woman. But yeah, like that's a base take. I'll give you that. But still, this is the problem for me. And I don't mean a problem because I agree with what you said. Everything Trump said he's going to do that mattered to me, he's doing. Okay? Like you said,
right.
We're not coming to our front step. Like and I still stand by this. If Trump was president, we'd never have this war in Ukraine to deal with. We'd never have this Israel shit to deal with. Why? Because as we say every fucking week, basically, Pete, he was president. We didn't have the Ukraine. We didn't have Israel to deal with. We didn't have that fucking botched exit from fucking Afghanistan. Didn't have any of those things. So when he gets in, I'm like, all right, he's going to end the Ukraine. And then that shit goes on with fucking Zelensky in the Oval Office. I'm like, I don't give a fuck anymore. But now when he starts sending them weapons saying, because it's like, this is a mess all over again. You know what I mean? So I don't like that. But again, I don't give a fuck about the people in Ukraine because fucking, you said it, that's a puppet fucking leader that the fucking CIA, and I'm going to circle this back to the fucking Epstein thing, the CIA and the deep state fucking put into order because they love the fucking war machine. They love grinding fucking children into fucking revenue. And so now fucking, I'm telling you, this gets back to when Trump said, are we still talking about this? Like, I'm told fucking he's using it to fucking, blackmail the deep state and get shit done. And part of me wants to believe that. Although it's the one thing that fucking Alex Jones has said in the past couple of weeks where I'm like, I should say years, that I don't think is going to come true. I want to believe it, but I don't. Your thoughts on that, Loadzzz?
Well, I think the reason you don't is because you have no experience with it actually coming true. You know what I mean? You actually seeing the stuff. But they did release more JFK information, and they finally said that there was somebody in the CIA who was working on the JFK thing. And that's a connection you didn't have before. And I mean, the whole thing with Epstein, who do we know for sure is involved? It's all been just a media thing from the beginning at some level. None of us were there. The women who were involved in getting raped, they don't name anyone. Like, where is the underage girl saying Bill Clinton fucked me? I mean, the one who did, Jeffrey, she got hit and killed by a school bus in Australia, and she flat out said, "Yes, Prince Andrew was with me. I was underage." Okay, where are these other girls? Where are they? Like, you're telling me if you were, the one girl accused Dershowitz and somehow nothing came of that. She flat out, that was the only other person I've heard who was flat out accused was Dershowitz. The people are there. Where are the people coming out and saying John Legend did it? Chrissy Teigen, all these people who were on that island. Where are these underage girls who were underage at the time? They're adults now. Why aren't they coming out? Why aren't they naming names? Why do we have to wait until the government names names or somebody puts out a file? If you were wronged and raped by these people, why aren't you coming out and saying it? I'm not saying it didn't happen.
The thing that I noticed is when Pam Bondi says, well, it was all child porn. Okay, if it's just child porn, there's, is it attached to like a name because it's on the list, or is it just all child porn? Because I don't think it's just child porn. I think it's a guy with a child, or maybe it's just child porn that fucking is attached to a name or a client. And by the way, shout out EK Legend who says yes. Actually, more importantly, the Afghanistan exit with the Chinook hanging off a roof must have triggered a few PTSDs in Korea and Nam vets. Oh, I couldn't agree more. Hold on. I missed a good greenie. There you go. KJ. Curtis John. Gina said Pete's cum was a bit spicy. Yeah, let me tell you, that hog tastes like bacon. Am I right, Pete? I get an assist on that. Curtis John, you get an assist on that. Like, that was really good. Like his cum tastes like was spicy because that hog tastes like bacon. Pete, this guy gets it. All right, let's get back to this one.
Sometimes I am speechless.
Good stuff. What do you think of that? The Biden administration got rid of most of the info, admitted the Mossad and the Saudis have all the leverage, not to mention Saudis partook in activities. The info had to be suppressed. That I believe. I also believe that a lot of that, like all the files got destroyed, like by the guy that was by the autopeeners, Peter. Am I wrong? They were protecting their own autopeens.
Well, when your running mate hits the nail on the head, you give him credit. Yeah, no. Yeah. So there
you go. Well said, Pete. You can't go against your running mate.
How do we know? Like, when Trump got elected, they were destroying information all over the place, I'm sure. So you don't even know what's there. But I will say this about the video, so I don't disagree with you. If you have a video of some guy having sex with an underage kid, you got the guy's face. You block out the face of the kid and show the video. There it is. Who is this guy? You know what I mean? But somebody in the chat said that it was all child porn just downloaded to Epstein's computer or something. If that's the case, then there's nothing there. I didn't hear that. But I did hear that the memo was anonymous. Nobody signed it. The memo didn't come from Pam Bondi. It wasn't signed, is my understanding. And it leaks in the middle of the night when Trump's having all this success, which is really what makes me question again why Trump handled that question the way he did in the press conference. You know what I mean? I chalk it up to him having an off day, but how he didn't just say, how do we know this is even legitimate? Like, that's another answer Trump could have given. How do we know this memo is even legitimate? How do we know? Nobody signed it. And then it could have gone to Pam Bondi, and Bondi could have said, nobody signed it. I don't know where it came from. Well, look,
so wait, what memo was never signed? This sounds familiar, but you gotta refresh my memory.
The memo that came out through Axios that said there's no client list Epstein didn't do anything. That memo was just leaked to Axios in the middle of the night.
Oh, come on. Really?
Yes. Who did you think typed it? Yes.
I didn't look that far. I didn't look that far into it.
Okay. So it wasn't signed. I don't know. Who wrote it? It was on the DOJ website. Who put it there?
Peter, yeah, I didn't. But look at my face. I didn't know any of it. I have no idea. So basically, so why do they pay it? Why do they pay it any? They shouldn't pay it any. No, never mind. Then am I wrong?
That's my point. Because it was on the DOJ website. It was released. I'm sure there's still some.
That too, Mr. White. Go, Pete.
I've been saying that since the beginning. How do
you have said that. I'm sorry, Pete.
How do you convict somebody for trafficking when they're not trafficking to anyone? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is one thing that they have to clear up somehow. But that's what I'm saying. Bondi and Trump could have simply said, some low-level scumbag put this on the DOJ website. There's still some losers left from Biden that we got to weed out. Some deep stater did this. You know what I mean? And if you want to say, well, you guys should know it was on the website and all, that's a totally different argument than, oh, the Epstein thing's over. So the guy, like I said, does anybody here listen to X22? Dave? He has been just X22 report. Guy's name is Dave. And I'll just say, he has been hammering away. White. He's been hammering away for the last month or more that all of this leads back to the Federal Reserve and getting us back to solid money. That things have been crooked since the 90s.
And tits ain't felonious.
That's
great.
So, I mean, you know, that's all I'm saying. So, and I lost my train of thought because of the felonious tatas. What are we doing? Yeah, and that's how you would handle it. It's almost time to restart. Not now.
You ever heard of a paper called The Latin Times? Because my boy fucking Gobble Gobble, our boy Gobble Gobble just sent me this breaking news article. Sorry, did it wrong. Try it again. I hate news break. GOP rep said FBI found hundreds of new Epstein files in February. Now he's blaming Biden for destroying them. There you go. Tim Burchett has revised his opinion on the existence of alleged Jeffrey Epstein documents. Months after claiming the FBI had uncovered a trove of new docs. Back in Feb, he told reporters the FBI found 1,400 new files yesterday, but Wednesday, that's 2 days ago, the congressman suggested the files may have been destroyed under President Biden. I think the files existed at one time, he told News Nation. I think they were destroyed. My wife's home. Hey, baby, I think they were destroyed in the previous administration. Oh,
what are we going to learn? Just today, the FBI found 1,400 new files. Now, I don't know. They're as crooked as a dog's leg, as we say in East Tennessee. I don't trust any of them. I think the files existed at one time. I think they were destroyed in the previous administration. What's Miss Maxwell doing in jail? What did she do? Where is that?
Yeah, what are all these books they're holding up, you think, Pete?
I don't know. My computer says it's going to restart, so I'm going to go to settings and try and not get it to restart.
It's not. No, it will restart when you allow it. Loads. When you give it the get go.
Did she provide?
Okay.
Whatever she did. Why is she in jail? You know, that's got to be a question that should be asked at some point. But again, under the previous administration, we're not going to get that. Dead men tell no tales. He's dead.
Are you saying the previous administration destroyed everything, or are you saying that the Trump administration is basically doing the same thing as the previous administration?
No, I think they destroyed everything. I think.
So why wouldn't Pam Bondi say that?
Right. I agree with that. I do.
She doesn't have any proof of it. I think she's got over her skis pretty much, saying all this stuff. The files are on my desk. I'm going to release it. And then she releases stuff that I knew, so I just don't think, I think they all got out there, got a little excited, and I don't think they exist.
Now, let me ask you something, Pete. Is this the end of Pam Bondi? People aren't happy with her. What's going to happen to this?
A lot of people want her to resign or get fired.
Right.
Yeah, I think because of the way the country is and the world is, she should have just come out and said, I gave everything we had. You know, it was on my desk. I gave it to all those people, and there's nothing else. And then said exactly what that guy said. I guess they destroyed it all, and we're done. It was all destroyed. Go question Biden and his minions if you want to find it. call Chris Wray in, the old FBI director, go get all those guys because Bongino and Cash gave me everything they had. We got everything out of this, southeastern district in New York, wherever the hell it is, and there was nothing there. So I gave you everything. I don't know what to tell you. That would have been a better answer than the answer they gave. So
let's see the news on Dan Bongino, by the way.
So, but again, on balance, like Trump's doing everything he can do to me for the good. Everybody's going to, make a mistake here and there. And I don't know what Bondi has done other than that's been so bad. Like they got that Brega Garcia, they're taking care of him. The Supreme Court, they're bringing cases where they need to bring cases. By the way, so at any rate, X22 is linking all this to, which I hope is correct, the Federal Reserve. And everything starting in 1913 and then in 71 when we went off the gold standard. And he believes a lot of things Trump's doing is to get us back to solid money or whatever you want to call it, and using all the stuff to get NATO to put in their 5%, the tariffs, so we have money coming in from other countries. So we used to get all our money from tariffs, and when they started with the Federal Reserve, they immediately just cut tariffs in half. So instead of taking money from other countries, we're going to steal it from the people in this country. So, I'm hoping that that's all true. And did anybody see? She is a Trump cheerleader, but there could be worse things. At least she's not trying to undercut Trump.
Phone calls to get the Epstien List shredded for Bobby Tambora. Bobby Tambora is a pedo. That's a good one. What were you saying, Loadzzz?
Is Mr. White in New Hampshire or Rhode Island?
Who?
Mr. White, New Hampshire, Rhode Island.
He's New Hampshire, but he's right outside of Massachusetts.
So I believe a judge.
I didn't dox you. Oh my God, my thing.
No, he told us that. I believe a judge in New Hampshire just issued an injunction through a class action suit, and the class is children of illegal immigrants and unborn children of illegal immigrants.
What?
Yes. So the class action suit is children of illegal immigrants and unborn, yet to be born children of illegal immigrants, because they should be citizens. This guy issued an injunction against Trump's birthright citizenship order, and he gave yet to be born people citizenship.
It's like pardons. They're so broken, the left. They're like, hey, we'll just give rights to kids that aren't born yet. We'll pardon people for crimes they may not have committed.
But the pro-choice nuts have to be out of their mind, because forever the pro-life people wanted the unborn classified as a person, as a U.S. citizen, and they couldn't get it done. And this judge in one fell swoop is like, oh yeah, the unborn are U.S. citizens. Apparently, the sperm and eggs all over this country are unborn. When they're just waiting to create a citizen. That's what this guy ruled.
Because they want the seats. Am I right?
No, it's because they want to keep birthright citizenship, which I believe when they hear the case that they're going to find in favor of Trump and sane people. Because, yes, Corsica, that judge ruled. He didn't even rule the clump of cells as a U.S. citizen. He said any future clump of cells will be a U.S. citizen. That's what he ruled. The unborn, it doesn't mean you're pregnant now as an illegal with a kid. He means that when two illegals get together somewhere in the United States, anytime in the future, and get pregnant, it's a child. That is what I understand this guy's ruling to be. So,
I don't know. I don't know. So, by the way, getting back to this, push-ups not letting you off the hook. So Trump didn't mean what he said. He's just doing 5D chess against the Fed and NATO. Got it. No cope at all.
No, that's not. No, that's not what I. That is not what I said. I didn't say Trump
know what
didn't.
that fucking is. Go on, Pete.
Right? No, push-ups. I didn't say Trump didn't mean what he said. I disagreed with what he said. I think he could have handled it better. Clearly, he has got NATO to do what he wants as far as the 5%. So he has got that done. I'm hoping that this is all to get rid of the Federal Reserve. That is what I am hoping. I don't know if that's what Trump is. I'm hoping that's what he's doing. You know, why shouldn't I believe it until it's proven that that's not what he's doing? Like, that's all I'm saying. You know, we believed all these other politicians, or were thought to believe all these other guys forever, who were total useless and did nothing. Well, he got promises from NATO. Okay, what more do you? Okay, so now let's see if they break the promise. So until they don't give the money, I'm good with Trump. Once they don't give their 5%, let's see what happens. If they don't and Trump doesn't leave, I'll probably be upset. Okay, if they don't give their 5% and Trump doesn't take some action, then I'll be upset. But right now, he got him to promise to give 5%.
What is this 5% you're talking about?
He got the NATO nations to agree to give 5% of their gross domestic product to NATO.
To finally pay their fair share. I didn't realize it was 5%.
Yes.
Go on, Peter.
Yes. So, you know, and maybe they could be waiting Trump out, but if you get Vance next, I think Vance is the next Trump at this point. You know? I think he is the next point.
Let's check in on this, Pete.
There's something else Push-Up said, though, that
what is it?
No, go ahead. You get to the next point.
FBI Deputy Chief Dan Bongino, go away. MIA from work after clash of Epstein files with AG Pam Bondi report. He wasn't at work today after he clashed with Bondi over the Epstein files. Bongino and Bondi dispute happened in the White House on Wednesday. Axios. It's always a source. It's never a name.
Well, right.
It's always a source. Go on, Pete.
No, you're right. And this is from The Independent, I see.
By the way, that's everything. This is a breaking. Yeah. But it's always a source. Like, did you see that piece of shit Anderson Cooper? And like I said, I don't care if you're gay or normal, but if you're a lying piece of shit, he's talking about how the Texas floods sources said that it took them 3 days with the new thing to get people out. It's just lies. It's just absolute lies. People were there immediately. They're like, well, you know, a source says that with the new way they're doing the Doge cuts and everything, that they don't send people out, and they were drowning for 3 days. It's incredible. It's incredible. That's what these idiots lie about.
Yeah, unless you put
that clip.
Right.
What were you saying, Loadzzz?
No, you're right. And that's the same thing with what came out from the DOJ. Nobody put their name to it. And unless somebody's name's on it, it carries no weight with me. Because if you're not willing to put it out there and then defend what you said and be accountable, then there's nothing there. It's nothing. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. That's why it's so easy with Trump to friggin' not like things, because he's right there saying it and doing it. Right there. There's no, oh, I didn't say that. I didn't do that. I didn't mean that. He says what he says. And it's right there. All these other people had this plausible deniability. I didn't know. It was a source. No, Trump's right out there. And so are most of the people in the administration. Homan is out there every day telling you what he's going to do and doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people hate Kristi Noem. I don't know why. She's doing everything she's supposed to do as far as I can see. The border's shut down. They're opening Alligator Alcatraz. People aren't happy with it, which is, I mean, what more do you want these people to do? By the way, I don't know if you saw, I saw a clip of Zeldin, head of the EPA, saying they're going to release everything they have on chemtrails and geoengineering.
No, when was that?
I just saw it today. There's a clip out there. Hey, see, I shouldn't say that, because maybe that was fake. Maybe it was fake. I don't know. I don't know. If I find it,
chemtrails?
I'll send it to you. No, that it was actually Lee Zeldin.
Okay. You know what I wanted to. Okay. So
I don't know how many vacations Ted Cruz takes.
Who cares?
Johnny Claire. Johnny Claire. Hey, Johnny Claire, are there really problems in Ireland now with all the Muslims as well? Is that spread to Ireland as well? I mean, do I believe Lee's? I believe Lee Zeldin. Why wouldn't I? By the way, if you don't believe that something's going on with them seeding clouds and messing with the weather, just watch the clips of the guy explaining it. I think I sent it to you, Gene. Maybe I didn't. They're all over the place. He's a guy about 25, 26 years old, got a mullet, and he's explaining he owns. Just somebody look up Rainmaker. Rainmaker, it's a company. Guy's out there seeding clouds. He named the state.
Did you hear that's kind of what went on with they think something like that may have happened with the Texas flood. Did you hear that?
Gina, I said that as soon as it happened. It was so obvious. So this guy was on with Will Cain. For all the people who need to see it on regular TV for it to be meaningful for them, I know it was Fox. He was on with Will Cain. He said, yeah, we were seeding clouds there on July 2nd. But that had nothing to do with what happened on July 4th.
That's incredible. Oh, I missed one from our boy fucking BFOP who weighed in and said,
look, Mr. Fabersham heard it too.
Now that the unborn has been legally defined as a class of people, how long before the pro-lifers sue on behalf of the right to life for the unborn?
Yes,
sure.
that's my, Bob Van Patrice, that's my point. Yep. That this guy opened the floodgates for that, which is totally not a left-wing issue. That's how twisted they got him. But, you know, the left will simply say, for cases of citizenship, they count as a person. Otherwise, they don't. You know, they're not really a person. But we needed it for this class action lawsuit. Not for real, for real. You know, the ACLU just needed it.
What was I sharing? Oh, here we go.
Okay, yeah, Jesse James, I'm glad we know. Jesse James, you and I know about geoengineering, but there's still people who don't believe it. There are still people who don't believe it. So I totally agree with you. Zeldin may be doing damage control. Because who knows? Some people speculate that they're releasing things that affect us internally. I don't know. This guy clearly says that. This guy who talks about it clearly says the silver oxide, totally not dangerous. They use very small amounts, and that's what they use to seed the clouds. And if you go back a year or two, the same thing happened. It's amazing. The same thing happened in Dubai. They have a cloud seeding operation. They had a once-in-a-thousand-year flood there. Not do cloud seeding. There's flooding in New Mexico now, right now. They have cloud seeding. There's flooding in North Carolina again. There's flooding in Texas and in several other places. So, you know, I mean, what more do you need? And the only reason, by the way, I don't even know if I have a problem so much with you're having a drought somewhere and you make it rain, but don't tell me climate change is CO2 and cow farts and SUV exhaust when you actually are changing the climate. That it's over now. Climate change caused by man-made CO2? No. Climate change, hey, it is man-made. It's man-made. They're seeding clouds. This guy also, yes, Jesse James, that was the tip-off. That is when the Asheville one made me
I remember that.
Right. The Asheville one made me go back and look up the Dubai one, and then it was, okay, now I know what's going on. So, yeah, nail on the head there, Jesse James, 100%. 600 or 1,200 miles inland, you're getting rain for 3 days. Stop it. I mean,
where you can't get flood insurance, Peter, because why would you need flood insurance on a mountain unless you geoengineer a hurricane on that mountain because you want the fucking land for all the lithium, hypothetically speaking. Go on, Loadzzz.
By the way, since you said lithium, apparently the U.S. is opening some sort of lithium mines and precious metal mines or something in Wyoming today. Johnny Claire, any day you can wear shorts in England's got to be a good day. Am I right? It weather sucked there
once. I've never had the pleasure, Peter.
Yeah, and actually, when we went, it was beautiful. We were there, I believe, in August. We went to England, Ireland, Wales, We didn't get to Scotland, and the weather was beautiful. I saw Stonehenge, the Book of Kells. You know,
Shout out to K Merv. Check out the World Cup in Qatar. Tons of weather modding going on there.
Yes.
He said.
Yeah. And by the way, we had the World Cup here when we were meeting Johnny Clare up in North Jersey. I hope they use whatever mod they need to use now that's out of the bag and we're effing with the weather. I hope they use all sorts of weather mods to have a beautiful.
What was that?
That was someone walking by and smacking the door, so I jumped out of my pants. That's the kind of thing I have to deal with.
Was that my nephew?
No, he's not here. It could have been Maxine.
Oh, you did tell her I wished her a happy birthday though, right?
Yes. Yes.
Love me. I'm a
what was I
big
gonna-
fan of the Maxine Loadzzz. You know that. Huge fan.
I was just gonna my God.
By the way, our boy, shout out to Gobble Gobble again. He's on point today. Just sent me this beat. As long as we're talking about geoengineering, please hold.
And Lou said Powell is considering resigning, which would be fantastic.
Wait, who was?
Powell is considering resigning.
Who is? I'm so sorry.
The head
Peter.
of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell. Lou says he's considering resigning.
Please, I only know Besant.
By the way, I think, and again, there's something. I think Trump should fire him. I'm not ball washing Trump. I think he hired him. He's only on until March of 2026 or May of 2026. Fire him. If he's really costing the country $900 billion because he's not going to lower the interest rates, and all the data he used to lower the interest rates under Biden are even better than they were under Biden. It's totally political. He's got all the data and facts. He should fire him, put in the guy he wants, percent, and then cut the rates so we save $900 billion in interest. So there's something for you, push-ups, where I'm not washing Trump's balls. I think you should fire this guy today. Actually, not today, because it's 4 o'clock on a Friday. I want him fired like 11 o'clock Tuesday morning when the whole world can see it.
Well,
Trump can fire him. He hired him.
Powell is considering resigning. I think this will be the right direction for America, and the economy will boom. Look at that. That is fascinating. The Federal Reserve Chair is reported to resign. And here you go. This is the one that our boy Gobble Gobble sent, Pete. I was one of the people approving the chemicals. It's now collectively being admitted in order to combat climate change. Listen to chemtrail whistleblower and former military engineer Kristen Megan. It is no longer just a conspiracy, people. Wait until people find out the sheer extent of it. This is amazing. Like, if they're doing it, let's take a listen.
We can't hear it.
Oh, really? All right. Please hold. Pete, talk to him while I reboot it. Thank you so much, Loadzzz.
Yeah, Mr. Fabersham, and everybody says, I don't think you can fire him. He might not be able to, but he hired him. Trump appointed him. So I'm just looking at it from the perspective of anybody the president appoints, they should also be able to fire. That's all. So I'm not sure what Federal Reserve statute says. Once you're in, and they got to let you serve your term or not. But yeah, so if he can't fire him per statute or something, that's fine. But he absolutely appointed him, which is why I believe he should be able to get rid of anybody he appoints. Hey, what are you supposed to do? I made a bad appointment. I got to live with it? No, I made a bad appointment. You're gone. Like, what are we doing?
Here we go.
Yes, I was in the U.S. Air Force for 9 years.
Wow. And you came out and blew the whistle on geoengineering, things that you witnessed were going on. Can you give us the real nutshell?
Absolutely. Basically, I had heard of what many people know as the term chemtrails. And I worked in a job called bioenvironmental engineering. And I thought that was insane. And why would we do something like that? Modify the weather by using hazardous materials in our atmosphere. So, and actually the process of trying to debunk it or disprove it, I realized it was actually coming right out of my office, as I was one of the people that was approving the chemicals. And it really shook the core of my oath. And I did a lot of sampling, did a lot of investigation, and I blew the whistle and I got out. And I've now used my credentials, my oath, and my powers for good to help people understand it's very real. It's now openly admitted. There are multiple forms of weather modification. I specifically found the one of stratospheric aerosol injection. And collectively around the globe, we have to understand that it is now being admitted because they're saying it's combating climate change. Well, the climate change.
It's just they're all pieces of. I'd give her my I'd seat her up.
I
would.
bet she
She
can
could
blow my
blow
whistle. Sure.
Why did you make me go back and get the sound? I don't know why I had to go back and get the sound for you pigs.
I want it because she's just going to say something now about let it go. She was just going to say something about it's used to fight climate change. She was just going to say how
Big brother. All right, here we go. I'll even go back and click. Thank you, Pete.
Because they're saying it's combating climate change. Well, the climate change we need to be worried about is man-made climate engineering, also known as geoengineering.
All right, I'm done here. That's perfect.
When you say you had chemicals being pumped into the air, what kind of chemicals are they putting out that rain down on humanity, basically?
Nanoparticulate metals, like you had different sulfates and barium and strontium. I know it's probably changed over time. I know they use silver iodide for certain things, but these are the odd part of it was the quantities that I saw them coming in, the form that they were coming in. And it's the same type of materials that I was trying to engineer out of the workplace to substitute with safer materials. And when you notice that what's called the safety data sheet, the information about a chemical of what personal protective equipment to wear, how do you dispose of it, how do you pack it to ship it? When key information is missing, I ask questions, and my questions led to demonization, and I knew I found something I shouldn't have.
That's insane. So these metals are basically toxic for the humans, I would presume, or?
Yes, because it also has aluminum, and a lot of people will tell you, well, these things aren't horrible in small
Alzheimer's,
quantities.
they think.
It's not small quantities, because when you are putting things above us, the dissipation rates are dependent on weather and climate, but it's getting into the food, it's getting into the soil. And around the world, these wastewater treatment plants, when it comes to pharmaceuticals, or these toxicants is what they're called, they are not able to filter them out. So if you're growing organic food, are we going to go back to the plexiglass barriers on our plants? I mean, it's horrible. That's why you can ban it anywhere. We've had states in the United States ban it, and that is great to get the ball rolling. But people really need to wake up to it, irrespective of any political party. It's not okay. And you're seeing a huge increase in neurodegenerative issues like Alzheimer's.
Okay. Number one, I will again shout out the chat because it is fantastic. Like, you don't get this just anywhere. Are you kidding me? I mean, this is crazy. This is crazy good stuff you get in the chat here. Push-ups, I saw you said, okay, I guess I misread or misinterpreted what you were saying there. Craggy Joe, intricate conspiracy theory required to say that Trump secretly has the Epstein files when he said he hasn't yet. And okay, so yes, push-ups. I am hoping.
I believe that, by the way. Go on, Pete.
I'm hoping Trump is lying about that and he has them. Or he had them, he saw them, he knows who has them. Like people in here saying maybe Israel's got them, Mossad has them now. I don't know. But if they exist, and if these very, very powerful people are all on there banging underage kids and little boys, and somebody's going to be doing the blackmailing, I'm hoping it's the good guys now, Trump doing the blackmailing. That's what I'm hoping. And by the way, I wish I could find the thing of the young guy who works for Rainmaker. If you look it up, he'll come up, because he says the chemical they use is only, his company anyway, is only silver iodide, I believe.
Right.
And that is.
I looked it up and it said there's flooding in Loadzz's pants. Is that wrong, Peter? That is incorrect. That's not
currently,
correct. Patrice, that's the information I'm getting from BFO Pizzle, Pete. That's the information I'm getting from him. No?
Not
maybe
currently. Not currently.
Not currently. All right, just checking.
And maybe those Jesse James, if you're telling me those chemicals make wildfires worse, I got no reason to disagree. It makes sense. And this guy was saying there are people out there saying, Texas Patrick P. I wonder if it's the same guy, young guy. He's very recognizable. Full-on mullet. No way he's 30 yet. What I was saying, there are people who are saying that they actually can use the weather manipulation to actually keep rain and stuff. Augustus Dorico. Thank you. Whoever K-Murph is, that's the guy.
He's a new guy.
That's
Welcome, K-Murph. Now, who is he? I'm looking it up.
He's the CEO of Rainmaker.
Hey, pretty girl. My wife.
He is the CEO of Rainmaker. So
the what?
He is the CEO of Rainmaker. Rainmaker
All right.
is
You
the
Google it,
company.
and this is what you get. Hey, let's take a peek, Pete. I love it. Thank you, K. Murph. Welcome. He's the CEO
That's
of
him.
Rainmaker. We got he seeded clouds over Texas, then came the conspiracy theory, the WAPO, which you won't be able to read. Snoops. You want to see what Snoop
No.
says
No,
2
I
days
don't.
ago?
No, I don't. Is there one where he's testifying in Florida?
This one, Rainmaker CEO speaks out about cloud seeding in Texas before floods.
I don't know. If that's
CEO
the
of
one.
a cloud seeding company has spoken out about the organization's work after a series of floods, deadly flash floods hit Texas. Is that the one? Rainmaker,
be.
thank
But
you,
here's the
came up.
thing.
Augustus Rico said his
This guy,
company with what?
This guy is saying we were seeding the clouds on July 2nd, but that had nothing to do with the floods. I mean, how different is that? How different? And I hate to say it, guys. Yeah, the 20-year-old all-star soccer player dropped that on the pitch, but we know it wasn't the shot. Like,
Pete, we were watching fucking. They retired 24 for Ricky Henderson, by the way. We're watching, the game last night, the fucking Braves and A's after the Fuhabadogu baseball show, and right behind home plate it just says Ricky 24, and every time I see it, I'm like, they killed him. They killed Ricky Henderson.
And I don't want to get in.
Hey, YouTube. Dr. Fauci murdered Ricky Henderson. Welcome to your second strike, Pete. Welcome. Because Dr. Fauci murdered Ricky Henderson.
Now, is that strike 3? Do they just keep? I didn't even want to bring it up, but it's so
You're never going to get
ridiculous.
monetized. You can't get monetized when you have a strike on you. Sorry, Pete. Murdered him. Led the league in stolen bases from 1970 to 1990. What was his rookie year, Pete?
1979.
He
Okay.
played at the age of 42. He played 100-plus games for the Padres, had 8 home runs, had 9 triples. Fucking at the age of 42, Pete. You know what you need to do that? Really good lungs. You know what he died of, Pete? Pete, you know what he died of?
Pneumonia.
Nope. You know what he died of? Dr. Fauci murdered Ricky Henderson.
Okay. So we've established.
Well, welcome to the 40 years of this. There's never been a doubt. There's never been a doubt in that, Jaquan. Really bad lungs.
Was I really going to do anything anyway? Sadly, Jaquan. Maybe I could have been doing more things.
How does no one ask that question? No one ask that question? Led the league in stolen bases. Fucking was in great shape 2 years before at a fucking event. Back to this shit. Hold on. Let's see a little more of this. I'm just what's that, babe? I love the Charger shirt on you. Genuinely curious what he said. Flash flood swept across central Texas on Friday. More than 80 people died. What's that, Pete?
Just get to the video. Is there no video? I got to find it now.
This isn't it. That's a house swept away.
Oh, wait a minute. I might be able to send it to you. Just relax.
I didn't mean to freak out, Peter. You're the one screaming Fauci murdered Ricky Henderson.
Yeah,
while you're doing that, I'll keep reading. Over the past week, he's appeared on several news broadcasts and podcasts to discuss technology and explain why it isn't linked to the floods.
Yes. Yes. He has to explain why.
It had nothing to do with the flooding that was caused by the remnants of the tropical storm that blew in. He told Steve Bannon on the War Room podcast. He continued, our biggest cloud seeding missions to date have only produced 10 million gallons of precipitation. Sounds like last night with Maxine. Am I right, Loadzzz? Am I right?
Right. Yeah.
You sure are right. Oh, my God. We put Texas to shame last night, and everything's big in Texas. Pete, are you done? Are you done bragging, Pete? Anyway, he continued that's the order magnitude difference between what cloud seeding is even capable and what happened is incomparable. I don't believe that. I'm not saying he's lying. I'm saying I don't believe that. Weather is an amazing thing. And when you know what I mean? Like, am I wrong to say this, Pete? And I didn't mean to cut you off. Like, you can't, nature finds a way. And when you fuck with, there's a reason fucking the energy in a tidal wave and you're, but it's only, this gets back to COVID. And you're right, Pete, Fauci murdered Ricky Henderson. The people that couldn't wait to get the vaccine, they put fucking man before God, or they put fucking science before nature. And this fuck is doing the same thing with that statement. Or let me say more properly. He thinks we're willing to believe that we think that way. They think we're going to be like, well, yeah, man's smarter than nature. What the fuck does nature know, Peter? Am I wrong?
So I'm not going to say you're wrong. There's a lot
Murph,
there.
you're going to get Peter banned. Would you stop it? Love this guy.
I sent
Love
you
the new guy. Rookie of the week. Go on.
I sent you the clip of this guy testifying. I believe it's in Florida.
Did you email or text?
Texted it.
Thank you. Got
regarding them getting rid of geoengineering. I think it's in Florida. But the key thing, at one point he says, I know why you basically want to do this, but if other states follow, we will be basically giving up weather modification to the Chinese. So he basically says we're modifying the weather. And at the beginning, he talks about some sort of reflective. So you can look at it, you can play it. But in Freakonomics 1, the book Freakonomics, they talked about how they studied like when volcanoes erupted, how the ash affected the weather because sunlight didn't get through. It was reflected back up because of the ash cloud. So they were thinking about ways on how they could replicate that to fight climate change. And this guy, I believe, addresses that in the beginning of what he's talking about, that they are trying that with some sort of reflective technology. Play it. You'll see. You'll see. You'll see.
All right. We'll share this tab instead. Let's look at him and his handsome mullet. Ugh. I lost screen share audio. Peter, set up what we're about to watch because I have to do this again. I apologize.
So the gentleman we're about to see is the CEO of Rainmaker. They're a company that does cloud seeding. They're in several states. I believe in the clip we're about to see, he's testifying in Florida because Florida is trying to pass a law to eliminate geoengineering in that state. Yes, go ahead. So he's talking to the Florida Assembly.
We're a cloud seeding company that is enhancing precipitation via advanced radar and also drones for the
Like he's giving a high school fucking presentation. Anyway, I'll shut up.
sake of supplementing water supplies for farms, cities, reservoirs, and wildlife throughout the United States. Our ultimate vision is to end water scarcity, and we've begun that mission already. I'm testifying to not oppose the spirit of this bill, which I think is well-founded, but the current configuration of the bill that I think would impede this mission for ending water scarcity, and also for bringing the best-in-class technology to Florida and the rest of the United States. And so the first point that I'd like to make is the difference between
what is the
solar
bra?
radiation
Look at the
management.
face.
And so
Look at her.
the first
Like
point
he's
that I'd like to
fucking
make
lying.
is
Is
the
he
difference
11?
between solar radiation management and cloud seeding. And so Senator Garcia did bring this up briefly. Solar radiation management is a very new technology.
This is
It's
a
not something that's
6-minute
been
clip.
tested at length.
What are we
NOAA
watching
has
here?
done some very initial experiments on its
I
efficacy.
paused it.
It is
He just talked about the difference between cloud seeding and radiating sunlight back. So there's a difference. And basically, he's just going to talk about why they use cloud seeding. He basically said it already. To, enhance the water supply, help farmers, whatever. He will talk about how the silver iodide is not dangerous at all to human beings. It's less dangerous than aspirin if you want to play it through at fast speed. Sound cleaning, clam radio. All right, good for everybody.
attempt to reduce the amount of solar radiation that makes it down to the planet by injecting reflective aerosols into the upper atmosphere. Once you inject these aerosols, they stay in the stratosphere for years. They have effects on the entire climate. The data from these experiments, because the experiments have been so few, is limited. And so the implications of them are not something that are well tested yet. Cloud seeding is altogether different. The only similarity is that it has to do with the atmosphere. It has to do with the low atmosphere. It's a mechanism, or it's a tool that either freezes the water in existing clouds or condenses the droplets
This guy's a tool.
in existing clouds into bigger snowflakes or bigger droplets such that they fall onto your target watershed or farm. It's a technology that has existed for 80 years in the United States.
Again, all I hear when this guy talks, and I can't speed it up, I apologize. It's just too annoying to me. All I hear when this guy talks is what I just said. They're just doing, and I got to get to the chats from fucking Gobble. He keeps sending me great stuff. But all they're doing is trying to convince us that man is smarter than nature. And it's such fucking bullshit. They trot this fucking dopey kid out with his fucking mullet. He's like, let me explain to you.
Well, here's the thing. See, I don't have a problem. I don't care anymore. I don't have a problem if you got a drought somewhere and you're going to seed the clouds. All right, if that's even possible. I don't got a problem with that. I don't care. It's not man being greater than nature. God gave you the ability to figure out how to do it, so you're doing it to better human life, which I don't think that's God has a problem with you bettering human life. I don't. But I got a problem that you're saying you're doing all this because of climate change. No, this is climate change. Don't tell me I can't eat
Peter,
meat
you have
and
a
drive an
problem.
SUV.
The problem I have, and I think you do too, is that 2 days after he seeded clouds, he's like, it's got nothing to do with it. And he's sitting there telling us that, and people are like, oh, okay, because he said it. And again, you're out of your mind. You're fucking with nature. And he's like, no, I know how nature works. No, you don't.
No. Here's the thing. Nature works how nature works. And if man does anything to mess with it, it's going to mess up how nature works at some point. And that's all that happened here. But if you mess up how nature works in a drought, you're already in a drought. How are you going to mess up how it works there? You get some rain. If you don't, you're still in a drought. You know what I mean? Like the stuff he was talking about previous, about reflecting sunlight back and all that crazy ass, that's totally weather modification.
Did you say crazy ass, you fucking cunt sucker?
I've been saying crazy ass for a long time because I had a job where I could not use words that you use on the regular.
I've been getting calls from my crazy ex for a long time.
Yeah, I saw you did a whole thing on your show about that.
And you know what, Pete? She's bat-ass crazy.
I'm not saying man knows best. I'm saying if you got a dust bowl happening somewhere and you could solve it, you should take a chance on solving it. Just don't tell me it's climate change.
But do you understand? It's like there's still droughts. They're not solving it.
Right.
They're just fucking.
Okay.
You know, they're throwing darts at a dartboard, and this is and it's blowing up in their faces. It's like, again, we survived 500 million years without any of this shit. And I'm not saying let's go back to the Stone Ages. I'm saying let's take a little responsibility for our actions, and let's at least say this could have been us. And I know you agree, but that's all I hear when I look at this little fucking punk.
Like if the state of New Jersey, if there is really weather manipulation at this level, and the Jersey Shore,
you know about manipulation. You said a lot of my mood today is going to depend whether there's manipulation. Am I right? Am I right?
No, very wrong.
On my penis, on my big mule, and boy, was there precipitation.
Disturbing. Of course, they're not imaginary kids. They're future U.S. citizens. You don't even know it yet. What I was going to say,
I like what you did there. Way to fucking stick the landing, big brother. He's good.
What I was saying, like if the state of New Jersey votes, if they can actually do this weather engineering, and the state of New Jersey votes and says, you know what, we're good. 4th of July weekend, we don't want no rain. We want sun at the Jersey Shore, and they can make that happen. And the people of Jersey are like, make that happen. I know that I'm against it. Do I think it's the right thing to do? Not necessarily. But I want some nice weather. I've had it with the shitty weather. Yeah, I'm embittered by the weather. And now they're telling me they can at least make it decent at some point. I mean, come on. Nature
needs to run for Congress and have these rants on the floor of the House. By the way, shout out to Gobble Gobble who sent some text messages. Fucking our boy taking good care. He sent us this little baby, Lee Zeldin. Fucking doing damage control. Lee Zeldin doing, what the fuck kind of virus did you send? I'm not, close, go away. Lee Zeldin doing climate engineering awareness damage control. Let's take a look at this.
This is what I was telling you about. Who sent this? This is what I was telling you about.
Our boy Gobble Gobble sent this.
Thank you, Gobble.
Would you like to, here it is, EPA. Zeldin engaged in a pitiful attempt at damage control due to the rapidly growing awareness of the weather warfare raging in our skies. Zeldin,
before you play it, before you play it,
yeah, please.
Yeah, you definitely could see how he's trying to get out in front of it. But here's another example of, because we question the government so much, it really doesn't even matter what the EPA puts out and says they know. People are still going to like, nah, they know more. They know more. And they're not telling us. That's all. But play it because you'll see. At least he's putting it out there that you chemtrail people aren't necessarily all nuts.
All righty. Can you hear it?
No, can't hear it.
Unbelievable. Peter, again, this is not my internet. This is the fucking. Tell them what they're about to watch. I'll be right back. Thanks, big brother.
You're about to watch Lee Zeldin, the head of the EPA, explain that whatever information the EPA has on geoengineering, cloud seeding, whatever you want to call it, they are going to release to the people of the country. So he'll tell you basically everything the EPA knows about it, you're going to know about it.
Public deserves and expects honesty and transparency from their government when seeking answers. But for years, people who asked questions in good faith were dismissed, even vilified by the media and their own government. That era is over. The Trump EPA is committed to total transparency. As a result, I tasked my team at EPA to compile a list of everything we know about contrails and geoengineering for the purpose of releasing it to you now publicly. In other words, I want you to know everything I know about these topics and without any exception. Instead of simply dismissing these questions and concerns as baseless conspiracies, we're meeting them head on. We did the legwork, looked at the science, consulted agency experts, and pulled in relevant outside information to put these online resources together. Everything we know about contrails to solar geoengineering will be in there. That means anyone who reads through this information will know as much about these topics as I do as EPA administrator. To anyone who's ever looked up to the streaks in the sky and asked, what the heck is going on? Or seen headlines about private actors and even governments looking to blot out the sun,
so to speak. You know what I mean? Pete?
Maybe that's why he didn't win the election for governor in New York. They didn't like the way he spoke. But and I get what Johnny Claire saying.
That's for sure. But oh my God, yeah.
I get what Johnny Claire saying. He is speaking very deliberately. He is speaking very deliberately to us, Johnny Claire. But it's some level, I think he feels like he has to break it down that way for the people who are just, for lack of a better word, tards and don't even want to hear it, don't want to listen. He's got to make it so.
I agree.
Hit you over the head with a hammer, simple for them. Or else they'll say, he didn't say that. He didn't. What did he say? He didn't say that. He didn't say they were going to do that. He didn't say the geoengineer. You know, it's sad that we have. But again, like, how hard, if something new comes up, you know, how hard is it going to be? Well, we didn't know that at the time. Now we know.
Nailed it.
Like,
he's doing CEO speak.
Yeah.
Go on, Pete.
So maybe
but I mean,
the
that's
CEO.
just it. Like you just said it. Sorry to interrupt. You know, we do that. I love it. He said it. It's like you said it. He's like, well, he's explaining it in CEO speak, but it's like he's explaining it to the people dumb enough to believe him rather than explaining it to the real people that want answers. The real people that want answers, he's explaining to us like, we know all that. And the people that don't give a fuck and will believe whatever he says don't even care. Am I wrong? So it's like, and me and you and everyone in the chat's like, we know. This is telling us nothing, you know?
Yeah, what Blood Harvester said there, how does the public know for the politicians? That's always been, I guess not my question, but like, there's nothing we the people shouldn't know. There really isn't. I just, there doesn't need to be, because it is we the people. They're our government. If they decide we're going to drop a nuclear bomb on Japan, okay, you dropped a nuclear bomb on Japan. Yeah, we did that. Here's why we did it. We made the decision on your behalf. If we're like, we don't have to necessarily know what military equipment we have, but if we decide to use it, we're using it, and this is why we're using it. But you don't need secrets. The American people, like, whatever, Bay of Pigs. Yeah, we invaded. Yeah, here's why we did it. Yeah, Kennedy, we killed him. This is why we killed him. And let the chips fall where they may. There's nothing the American people can't handle hearing. There is nothing. You know what I mean? And that's, I hate that, you know, people know and they act like you don't. There's too much. Yeah, Jake 1G, I agree. The CIA should be done away with. I think JFK wanted to do that. Scatter it to the winds, I believe he said. Yeah, and all that stuff needs to be reconstituted. The CIA, FBI, but have to be done away with and reconstituted. I agree with that because the CIA is all over the world performing these clandestine operations and all this stuff, and it's just causing problems like what happened in Ukraine. The CIA put Zelensky in charge. How is that the job of the CIA? And how are they not telling the American people, yes, your CIA, which tax dollars or Federal Reserve money or whatever money they're getting is paying for, is putting this guy Zelensky in charge, and we're not going to allow him to declare peace with the Soviet Union, and we're going to be working in Burisma there. No, we should know. We should know because maybe there's people in this country be like, yeah, you're damn right we're going to put this guy Zelensky in charge, and we're going to use him to fuck Russia, and we're good with that. You know what I mean? But the American people should know this what went on. Nuland testified, and that's it. Push-Up said something about Victoria Nuland. And I want to ask him if he saw her when she was testifying with Rubio, and she said, yes, we have biological labs in the Ukraine, and we are worried about the Russians.
That was years ago, right?
Yeah, but it was all in the same context. She knew what was going on in Ukraine, and she admitted the labs were there. And the reason I say that is because people like me were saying, yeah, there's biolabs in Ukraine. You're crazy, conspiracy wacko. Even if they are, what are they doing? Meanwhile, she admits they were U.S. labs that we had something to do with, and we were scared if Russia got a hold of them. So I wonder if Push-Ups happened to see that testimony to Rubio in the Senate. Because she flat out said yes. So is she lying to the Senate as Assistant Secretary of State at the time?
By the way, there's a lot of you're saying it's a conspiracy theory when I wacko. Never mind. So yeah, so I don't believe this Zeldin guy. Shout out to our boy fucking Gobble Gobble, who also said this is fascinating. He by the way, Gobble Gobble informs us if you send a rant with and pay with Capital One. This is fantastic. If you send a rant and pay with Capital One, they pay for it. You get cash back from Capital One. That's great. And
that's a capital idea.
Creep Boot says hi, Keanu. Aw. Say hi to Kiki. So yeah, it's just he's talking to people that, and I want to get to this fucking Comey and Brennan thing and get your thoughts on that. We'll get
yeah.
We'll get to
Before you do, Saint Ranger said some of the World War I stuff is still above top secret classified. Yeah, that's ridiculous. And I've said on here, the stuff that the kids at Columbine did is still classified and people can't see it. These are high school kids who shot up a school, and we can't see what their writings were or any of their ideas. Ridiculous. We're the American people. We can handle it. We can handle
Putting
it.
biolabs in shithole countries way worse than that can happen. I love Blood Harvester gets it. Yeah. I just found out Zelensky was Poroshenko. Very strange, Johnny. Abra.
Go ahead. The Comey and Brennan thing, they can't be tortured enough. Arrogant, smug. I saw a clip of the guy who used to be on Fox and went to CNN, and then his show got canceled. And he was playing. His dad was on 60 Minutes. See, this is what happened. His dad was on 60 Minutes.
But who's? I don't know who you're talking about. I'm sorry, Pete.
This reporter for Fox. He left. He went to CNN. His show got canceled. And he was doing an interview with Comey. And he would play what Comey said about everything that went on with Russiagate. And then what the Inspector General said. They found.
Thank you, Blue Bloom and Chris Wallace.
Chris Wallace, thank you. Yes,
looking at Nancy Pelosi's huge fucking young tits. Hilarious. And I agree. Nothing's going to happen to Comey or Brennan. So it always works. And and too bad it wasn't another Brennan. This guy gets it. But I mean, this clip of Brennan, it's again, it's like that clip we just saw. And I'll show you the clip. Of course, it's from my boy, Dave Rubin. It's like the clip we just saw of Zeldin. It's like the people you're talking to two sets of people. The people that already know this shit, they're like, you think we're idiots. And the people that are idiots don't even care. Like, look at this clip of all people, Brennan talking about what's going on. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Share this tab. Hopefully there'll be sound. Who fucking knows half the time? Let me know if you can't hear it. Here he is. Take a look.
on Brennan, in his own words, still telling us.
Can you hear that?
Yes.
Yay.
Now that there was no Russia hoax.
Clear that Mr. Ratcliffe decided that he was going to initiate this. I think, again, to try to satisfy the interest, the urge of Donald Trump, who continues to claim that the assessment of Russian interference in the 2016 election was a hoax. It was not. I really am very worried that what we're seeing now in this chapter of American history is...
How can he just say it was not when it's been proven time and time again it was? It was funded by the Clintons. How can he just say that, Pete? And no one says it.
Just like he said it, because he's an arrogant, smug fuck. So he says it like he says it. So
listen, have you seen this interview? Watch what he goes on to say, Pete.
A sad deterioration of, I think, the respect for the rule of law and for our system of government.
The respect for rule of law from the party that tried to impeach Trump 30 fucking times. Here we go.
And if a president of the United States is willing to weaponize intelligence and justice and law enforcement investigators, and the people who head up these departments and agencies are willing to bow to it, we really are in deep, deep trouble, which was why I think so many people are worried about the direction this country is taking.
Beth, I'm pretty sure that's what we call confession through projection. Yeah. Isn't he guilty?
I mean, it's obvious. He literally, he talks about the weaponizing the government. Listen.
See of everything he's accusing Donald Trump right there? Like, it's a get a mirror.
I was going to say, I agree with a lot of what he said. But
I spent 10 minutes trying to scratch my phone, but that's on her face. Anyway, go on.
The problem is he's aiming his hit the wrong person. This was a group that defended an auto pen as president, right? Like they were trying to tell us all sorts of things that
So Pete, this is how you said it, how arrogant, how smug they are. The guy, it's like, and by the way, your boy John DeClaire insists that Russia did interfere with the election.
Here's the thing. I'm going to say this about that because I saw that. Yeah, I'm sure they did. But to me, by the way, the U.S. interfered with elections too. They tried to get, when Obama was in charge, they tried to make sure Netanyahu didn't get reelected in Israel. Every country, if they're trying, they should be messing with other countries' elections to try and get the people they want in. If that's what they want to do, every country messes with every country's elections. But to me, I don't want to hear about information going out unless you go in and actually steal votes. That's messing with an election. Putting information out there that the morons eat up and don't think for themselves and don't do any research and then vote on, that's good politicking. That's good. You should be doing that. That's why people are supposed to critically think. But when you go in and steal votes, which is what they did in 2020, that's messing with the election. So whatever Russia did and whatever the bot said and anything that was on the internet, that's just politics.
This is what I'm talking about. The Steele dossier, that was Russian misinformation. That was lie. This was all lies. Okay. What did Russia do to actually tamper with the election that I'm missing, Loadzzz?
No, that wasn't Russian disinformation. That was U.S. produced disinformation. The federal government, Obama.
Yes, thank you for saying that correctly. Go on.
Obama used the CIA against a private citizen who was running for president. That is what happened there. There's no other way around it, and that is highly illegal. Okay? Right. Paid for by Hillary and the DNC. Yep. And you can trace it all the way back. This is where the statins have just destroyed me. I used to know the names of the people involved and the husband and wife that were involved. I'm sure people in here will come up with it, that were sending information back and forth. It was ridiculous. And Comey, that smug fuck, would get on there and say how he went after Flynn, and Flynn shouldn't have been talking to him, but he knew Flynn was going to talk, and Flynn should have had a lawyer, but he didn't take a lawyer because it was Comey. All this stuff. McCain picked up the dossier, right? So it was absolutely the deep state, the uniparty, going after Trump. And one just has to wonder why they didn't want Trump. Why this one guy, you would go to these lengths to keep him out of office and not let him get things done. By the way, along those lines, for what it's worth, Daily Wire is reporting that Bongino won't remain at FBI if Bondi keeps her job. Sources say.
Wait, say it again. You broke up. Bongino won't remain in job what?
If Bondi keeps her job.
Oh, okay.
Sources say. That's the Daily Wire reporting Mary Maglet O'Hanlon and Zach Jewell. So I don't know just what's out there. But yeah, these two guys are dirty as sin. The IG report said they were dirty as sin. Okay, Horowitz, I watched all that testimony, and he said they flat out used the Steele dossier to get the FISA warrant to spy on Trump. When Trump said they had his phones tapped, Comey said, no, we didn't. And it was proven they did. They had the phones tapped at Trump Tower. Everybody forgets Peter Strzok and that other broad. And when he was like, no, we'll make sure he never gets elected. They testifying. And he's
the text messages.
Yeah. So it's all out there. Everybody knows. Everybody knows they're dirty. So whatever, the 80% of the country knows what's going on, will never respect Comey. He's got to live a life that he lives now, knowing what he did, and people hate him. And the other 20%, because they hate Trump so much, they'll be like, it was okay. He was right,
Oh, by the way, Saint Ranger, love him. He's a good guy. Most people forget our history. Pam and I like when someone talking about something also knows their history, like Pete does. Good show, Pete. He used to be a teacher.
Thanks, guys. No, I mean, it's just like you're just living life and seeing this. And by the way, if Bongino does leave, I hope he goes back to Rumble because I miss his show. And I think the stock would go up. And if he does go back to Rumble, it should be immediately, here's why I left. Here's what's going on. This is where they effed up. You don't believe me. Don't believe me. I was there. I saw everything. Now I got nothing. I don't know. Yeah, we all want the truth, but I know if they are alternative facts, what's alternative? Facts are facts. They used the CIA to spy on Trump. Trump was a private citizen running for president. What's an alternative fact about that? I'm just curious, Johnny Claire. What's alternative? What did I say is not true there? That's what happened. I didn't like that it was happening. Johnny Claire, the 2,000 Mules shows the people going to the ballot drop boxes and shoving the ballots in time and time again. They match the ping on their phone. They have the video of it. It all matches up. What are we talking about?
Yeah, I mean, he can't go back to Rumble if he steps down.
Why? Why not?
I mean, he can. Obviously, he can, but it's like I'm not listening to him. I don't want I mean, maybe I am. It's just you said it perfectly. The lineup is fucking falling apart. That's a good way to put it, J Ham. And again, thank you for the fucking the gifted memberships. It's a good way to put it. Yeah, ACDC. I don't want Bongino to take that job in the first place because I watched the show.
Yeah,
I did too.
Yeah, and by the way,
that's how Dave Rubin stepped into my lineup because I lost Dan Bongino. God damn it! I lost
think
Dan
of
Bongino.
all the stuff that's going on. You forget, it's forgotten.
He knows
now.
a lot about Putin, like Putin Loadzzz and Maxine. Am I right? Were you talking
Curtis? Curtis John gets a. I got to give him a pass. The cigars are good. Johnny Claire, I love kidding around with you, Johnny. That's why. Remember, I'm the one who wanted to come back to the show.
When Pete uses the F word, my phallus stiffens. Overview. What's overview? I don't get the overview. What?
No, so I forget what I was going to say. Oh, Bongino, before he left to take this job, which I really didn't want him to take either, he was hammering away at the pipe bombs that were planted on January 6th.
Oh, hammering away with the pipe bomb? That's what you do, am I right? You hammer away with the pipe bomb. I do. Maxine's having a wonderful birthday. Hammering away with the... Well, Pete, you can't. I mean, what are we really doing? All right, go on. Hammering away.
Yeah, he was talking about the pipe bombs in Cecily on January 6th. This is unbelievable. He was talking about the pipe bombs on January 6th. Who planted them? How come nothing was done with them? This is the kind of stuff you only get on this show.
Yeah.
And I am proud to say it.
Bonus loads, my man. That's why once we're done, it's fucking $25 for the members. After a month
at any rate,
I put them up for free on the page, but you got to fucking pay. You got to want it.
People, so much crap happened, and all to try and discredit Trump. But you forget January 6th, yeah, okay, the riots or whatever, the insurrection, all that bullshit. You forget there were pipe bombs outside the RNC and DNC headquarters on that day at that time. You forget the only person who gained from what went on January 6th was Joe Biden, because they didn't go through the real process of counting the votes that day. And had they done it, you don't know what would have happened if they would have sent the votes back to Arizona and said, hey, make sure these are right. I mean, if people are fine with incorrect vote tallies being taken, then that's fine. But that's what January 6th riots led to. And I believe the pipe bombs were there just in case the other stuff didn't work to get things stopped.
Yeah.
I see him roasting class.
I always tell the story about how when you said read to page 10 and the kid slammed his bookshelf, you're like, yeah, God forbid you read one more word. God forbid you learn one other thing.
Look,
there you go. Have a pipe bomb for your backside, Pete.
Like I told you, when the kids from when I taught at the high school had their 20-year reunion, and they called to have me come back, and they remembered everything. The one kid saved his write-up slips, and he's reading them to me. I'm like, this is unbelievable that you kept this. It was a ball. It was a ball. But that was, again, it was a different world. It was a different world, guys. And if any of you know any people out there in the classroom, different world now. And that's what Maxine said when I went from, a district that, might have cottoned more to my sense of humor with the children to a district that really maybe didn't cotton as well to it. Like, are you going to be okay there? And I'm like, sure. I'm ready for a different challenge. But, yeah, man, things change so much. And like I said, some of the stuff we did and said could not have happened. So it was a good time, though. It was a good career. Laying that pipe bomb. Again, the chat is fantastic. I look forward to that every Friday.
For this stuff. Why is my ringer always on now?
I don't know why your ringer's always on.
Like, it's usually on vibrate, but for some reason, the past 2 days, like in the middle of a stream, it starts ringing. I'm like, why?
So what did you want to say? And that's why, like, the Comey thing's going on, the Comey Brennan thing's going on, the Epstein thing. Who knows if they put that out there just so there was something to talk about other than Texas and Comey and Brennan? I don't know. The Texas floods going on, the stuff in California with immigration and ICE is going on, and that's news all over the place. Like, there's big things going on all over the country. New Mexico's flooding. Like, think of there's major events and stories everywhere. Mondami to some degree, the communist who's going to run New York City. Like, think about it.
I'm listening.
Like, there's so many stories out there. How do you even keep track of all of them?
Yeah, who cares?
Well, okay, good. Okay, so push up.
Can I go first?
I want to know.
Who cares about the casualties in this country when fucking, this was a puppet regime, and he's like, oh, and we talked about this. John's like, well, we can't have elections because we're at war and we're occupied by. I don't care. This is not our fucking problem. Well, it is our problem because we're sending them. Yeah, because we're worried. We're taking a side. I don't care. It's not getting over here. Dog Pete, I'm sorry.
No, it's not getting over here, but I don't want us going over there. I don't think Trump will send American military over there. I'll tell you right now, if that happens, I'll absolutely disagree with Trump. That would be disgraceful. I don't, hey, I agree with Trump. You don't want to see Ukrainians or Russians dying. You don't. But neither of them are going to stop. So what's the United States supposed to do? That's why I want them to pull out totally and let them go at it. I mean, and let them sort it out. And if European countries want to get involved, they get involved. I get that Trump, he had that conversation on the phone with Putin a couple weeks ago, maybe a week ago. It didn't go well. So now and then Putin immediately attacked Ukraine. So now he's sending stuff to the Ukraine to help fight Putin. Maybe that's his way of answering back. Like, we're not going to let you just overrun them. I don't know. It seems like it's a no-win because the win is for it to stop. So how's the best way to get it to stop? Eventually they'll kill each other and they run out of weapons. I don't know.
No, oh, Jesus Christ. Wasn't paying attention. Hold on, Pete. Here we go. Gay bitches, purple helmet time. Pete, can you give a shout out to my daughter-in-law, Keanu? She loves you guys. Good callback. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Oh, hold on. Our boy gifted a membership.
Right. That's my point.
I gifted 1 subscription to Gino Biscotti. Thank you. I don't know who got it. We'll find it. What were you saying, Pete?
I agree with Jahan. That's why I don't want the U.S. sending weapons. I said I don't agree with Trump on this. This isn't our problem, and they won't run out of weapons if we keep sending more. I don't want us to send more. I don't. I want them to figure it out, and if that's the only way. They have to do it. It's their country. It's their world over there. Like
I agree. It's not our fucking problem.
It's not our problem, and they're not coming here. And whatever we get from Ukraine or Russia, we can wait and we'll get it when they're done. And by the way, that's the other thing we're missing because so much other stuff's going on. Trump settled the war between Congo and whoever. That had been going on for like 30 years. And that was the people of Congo and wherever were in the Oval Office saying.
By the way, remind me to return Congo. I'm going to Three Monkeys first. Godfrey and his folks are having me over for dinner.
You know, he stopped that. They were in the Oval Office. Pakistan and India, they want him to get a Nobel Prize for how he handled their dispute. Whatever you want to believe, there's no fighting right now between Israel and Iran. And there's another one he solved.
By the way, there you go, Pete. The DR Congo and Rwanda to sign peace agreement on June 27th. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. He's had so much success negotiating peace between these countries, and all people want to look at is the one where he hasn't done it.
Look at this. Well, the Democratic Republic of Congo. Pete, the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda have initialed because coloreds can't spell. Am I right, Pete? Hey, can we just initial it? One of them just threw a banana, right, Pete? Right? Man, them coloreds love stripes, right?
The other wrote whistle ding, Gene. There. How are you? Is that good?
Click, click, whistle. Wait, I'll do it. The Democratic Republic of Congo, here, you watch this, Pete. The Democratic Republic of Congo, according to the development on late Wednesday, came after 3 days of constructive dialogue. Quote the Democratic leader, click, click, whistle, ding. Now, as the draft agreement contains provisions that you will get all the silverbacks and get to kill the offspring. All right.
So, I mean, yeah, we want their minerals, but we can wait. We can wait to get their minerals. And by the way, my understanding, Johnny Claire, help me on this one, if you see it different. Did not people in parts of Ukraine, I believe the Donbass, vote that they wanted to be part of Russia? They are ethnic Russians. So why not just let them be? It's what those people want. Yeah.
I can never find that clip, Mr. White. You know what he's referring to, Pete?
No. But there's so much out there. Like even there's that blood harvester with the, you're forgetting about all the military industrial complex and who they have information on. I think maybe it's all connected. I was listening to some woman, she believes it's all connected. The military industrial complex, the Epstein stuff, and central banking. That if it all came out, it would be disastrous to the banking system and everything. Because so many people are involved, we don't know how deep it goes. By the way, did anybody see there was some tunnel that collapsed out in California? I didn't believe it at first, but then it was on a scroll along the bottom of the screen. They rescued like 23 people from a tunnel.
Oh yeah, we have a picture. We have a picture of that. This is the Democratic Republic of Congo leader.
I know who it is. Oh my God.
Obviously, I'm kidding. If you talk to me and Fred Rubino, you know that is Lamar Jackson. You didn't hear about a tunnel? What are you saying now, Pete? I could gurgle it. What are you saying?
You look it up. Some sort of tunnel collapse under LA or something.
Really?
Yeah, somewhere out there. Yeah, gay bitches. I just saw it. Okay, Johnny, if you're telling me the election was dubious, I'm not going to disagree because I don't know enough about it. I had heard that the people in the Donbass were ethnic Russians. I clearly haven't studied that enough. But if they were and they really want to be part of Russia, I don't see why Ukraine wouldn't let them go and be part of Russia. By the way, same reason I think the United States should let California go and be part of whatever shit they want to be. And then a week later, we send in the military and occupy it. And it, just becomes a protectorate and annexed part of the United States. And we use military rule there. I don't know why we aren't letting these states that want to break away do that.
Gabe Bitches said, I have a Warhawk friend, Hoomst. I love that word. Hoomst says we have to involve ourselves overseas to keep Russia and China in check. What would you say to counter that argument, Pete? Loadzzz?
I don't know. Like, what are we keeping them in check from? I think China and Russia are in trouble in different ways. China, I would say, more than Russia. One, China has no women. Okay.
I think what he's saying is like, it's our show of strength. Like, we're so strong, we'll just send weapons to these people, Right,
but I don't think China's economy is based on selling cheap stuff all over the world, as far as I can tell. Yeah, they have some great technology. I'm not going to doubt that. But if they don't care if their people starve, so I guess it really doesn't matter if everybody doesn't buy their products or whatever, or they pay a high tariff. But that's why I guess they don't have the same problems we would have in those situations. But yeah, I think China's got their own issues. And I think that's why it's so smart for Trump to use our economy, our strongest point. We're the biggest consumers in the world. Like, hey, if you want to sell into the biggest market in the world, you got to pay. And I think that's smart. That's an advantage we have, and he's using it. You could argue
Thank you for the link, our boy Gobble Gobble. He also sent a link about Garrett Coleman's wife getting charged with murder. They talked about that on Garrett and Steve. Not, God forbid, not getting charged with murder, never getting charged with murder, then doing some show where she took a lie detector test saying she didn't murder him, and she failed miserably. Meanwhile, we don't care, CNN, with your ads.
Right. And by the way, I'm reading those two back to back, and they both make sense to me. You could argue Iran attacked Israel because the U.S. didn't support Ukraine. Yeah, I could see that. You could argue that Iran figured, well, if these guys aren't supporting their Ukraine, there's no way they're going to support Israel. But as we know, Netanyahu leads Trump around by the nose, and you knew he was going to do something to support Israel. So, but I can see that argument. Absolutely correct. But I agree with Creed Boot. Yeah, let Russia and China do what they want. We build the strongest military. They're they're 2 oceans away from us on either side. Anything gets crazy, before they can get here, they want to come attack us. We're going from a defensive thing, and you could, all right, as soon as something goes down, you're raining holy hell on this military you built up while China and Russia were effing around.
Did Mark Levin say that, Pete?
What? I don't know. He may have. I haven't listened in a while. He may have. I have not listened in a while. I like Mark Levin more for his legal points of view than necessarily his world political views and stuff like that. No, they know how to, because we know how to cross oceans, and so do they. But what I'm saying is, they're going to be coming. They have to use shit? Why wouldn't that be an all out before they even got here? We'd start dropping bombs, flying planes. I just don't. They would have to get men over here. They're trying to invade us. I would think at some point you would need to get boots on the ground from Russia and China in the United States. And I would assume those troops would be met every place they were coming in and just be mowed down. We're not trying to get boots on the ground in China and Russia.
Okay.
Yeah,
were we going to talk about this?
I was just laughing.
Collapse
our old CIA would have had a new regime in Iran already, which I'm glad they don't. I don't want our CIA doing that.
The tunnel, so it's a tunnel collapse. This is no big deal. God forbid. I'm not one of 31 workers rescued. 31 men working on a tunnel about 400 feet beneath the ground in LA were operating a machine to carve through the earth without warning. A portion of the tunnel collapsed on them Wednesday night. Trapped 5 miles from the tunnel's only entry and exit point, the men scrambled to escape. The tunnel, 18 feet wide, 7 miles long, had been under construction for years as part of a complex. Okay, no biggie. But they were safe.
What? No biggie. Who's building tunnels underground? I don't know of any other city. Did anybody know that was being done,
It's part of a complex municipal wastewater project, unless you're saying they're lying about that, Pete.
No, I don't know. I didn't know that's what it was. Okay, wastewater project, very possible. Very possible.
Right?
By the way, I agree. Push-ups, yeah, I didn't see that. They want to be China and Russia want to be head of a new world order. Trump is destroying any new world order. Maybe that's why everybody's after him so bad, because he went to Davos and said flat out, there will be no new world order. That's done. So I get what you're saying there, Push-ups, yeah. Let the other people, well, I get letting the other people mow them down for us, but, you know, at some point, if they're coming, they're coming. And that is, and I like Tim Scott, that is one of the things he said. It's good that the war's going on in Ukraine and Russia because all these Ukrainian soldiers are getting killed over there, so they can't come over here. And we're using Ukraine to weaken Russia. All right. Maybe that's, you know, if that's the plan, that's sick, but I guess that's fine. You're just sending weapons to Ukraine, keep mowing down the Russians. You know, at some point, I would think Putin would get fed up with that. You know, and that could be a problem. And he said that basically.
It's not political, but our boy, sorry, Pete, I got up to pee. I know you've got it.
No, it's okay.
Gobble Gobble wants you to see this video. Like, have you heard about this?
What?
Gary Coleman's wife?
I've heard nothing about Gary Coleman. All of a sudden, Gary Coleman's in there.
Look at this.
That's Gary Coleman's wife?
Wife taking a lie detector test.
Pete, this is ages. Like, it's something on, I saw it on like one of the streaming channels. When he died, like they were fighting. They were always fighting. And he fell down the stairs and she was so mad she didn't go down and check on him. And they're like, this is her story. And then when we found him, he fell down the stairs. His head was bashed in. But it's like, yeah, he fell down the stairs and he doesn't have enough gravity. But here we go. Let's see what a Gobble Gobble thinks you're going to like this.
Delving into the fall that led to his death in 2010.
If you had anything to do physically with Gary's fall, polygraph's going to show it. You know what I mean by physical, right?
Oh, I know. And him, shoving him, throwing him overboard. Yes.
Test is about to begin.
Oh, God.
It's all part of the series Lie Detector.
Looking at this bitch, I think he might have just killed himself.
I think he
Truth or
jumped.
Deception, airing Thursday on A&E.
What's that?
Remember,
I think he rolled himself down the steps.
Look at this.
Shannon Price faced questions in Gary's death after claiming the actor, who had bouts of seizures, fell down the stairs during an episode. He passed away 2 days later.
I heard this big bang. I went downstairs, blood everywhere.
When you made that 911 call,
It's better there.
what was going on in your mind?
Well, I was definitely.
Oh, yeah, and I remember
was
that
definitely
she didn't
panicked.
go to the, she stayed upstairs. Like when they got there, he was downstairs in a blood. She's like, I couldn't look at it. And she didn't go with him in the ambulance to the thing. Here we go.
Did you have anything to do with Gary's?
He looks good there.
The fact that people think that I would have killed him, I would never. I mean, I would take my own life before I would ever do anything to him.
What exactly are we trying to resolve here?
Being accused of murder. Being a killer. I guarantee you, Shannon.
Thank you, Jaquan. I didn't want to say it.
E.T. was there from the beginning when Shannon and the Different Strokes star said I do back in 2007. 8 months later, they appeared on divorce court amid several disputes, some violent.
If I have to throw something or break something, that's what's going to happen. I think we're very forgiving with each other.
Next picture, he's got a giant fucking lump on his noggin.
For a long time.
Shannon wasn't charged in his death, but just 12 days after his passing, she took plenty of heat when Gary's deathbed photo made the cover of a tabloid.
Who do you think is behind those photos?
Who's in the picture? You're going to tell me you
He's
don't
still
know anything
alive.
about the
Todd
pictures?
Bridges.
But
Wait, Todd Bridges is still. Oh, Dana Plato is dead, right?
Oh, way dead, yes. They blame that on
you're
Stern,
in
by the way.
On Stern?
She was on Stern, and he absolutely crucified her. And she killed herself like a short time thereafter that. Yeah, I remember watching the interview.
That's like Pete says, race traitors deserve death. I know. I think
I
that's
do not, not true, not true, not true.
I know what he's like.
Not true, not true, not true. Hey, I'll throw in Mr. White real quick. Yeah, I loved Rand Paul during COVID. I'm still trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. I went and listened to him live with the guys from WPHT in Philly. He was speaking with guys from the radio station, and I got a signed copy of the book and everything. But now, yeah, I don't know. He's another guy. I agree with him probably 80% of the time. Sadly, I don't like what he did with the big, beautiful bill. He should have passed it. You cannot let great be the enemy of good. The bill did a lot of things that we need to get done. You handle the rest later. So I'm still supporting Rand Paul, but yes, he has done some things. The bill thing, I totally disagree with, but he was so spot on COVID. He was spot on about Fauci. So I can't throw him out totally. But yeah, I'm not pleased with how he handled the big, beautiful bill and everything. And if you fall back on, well, he believed what the CBO said, they're a bunch of fucking liars. So I got no time for the CBO. They refused to take the money coming in tariffs into account as income for the country. So I still like Rand Paul, but, not necessarily as much. It surprised me that he did that. I guess it shouldn't have surprised me because that's his thinking, and he wants the cuts.
That is correct. He is a sexy eye doctor. By the way, shout out Gobble Gobble. He sent me the cliff notes. Here's a different video. This is literally actor Gary Coleman's ex-wife receives polygraph results and question. Here we go.
Critical questions.
Correct. The exam
This is her husband, I guess, now.
Fatal fall.
Okay.
I asked you the following relevant questions on this test. Did you physically cause Gary's fall?
Mhm.
You answered no. I also asked you, did you physically cause Gary to fall that day? And you answered no. And the results are
He lied. Listen.
failed that exam. Indicated to those relevant questions. Let me say that again. You failed the exam regarding Gary's fall.
Look at her face. No.
That's
Yeah. There's two things I know for sure, Shannon. One, you were not completely honest with me yesterday during this polygraph session. And two, the other thing I know that's 100% certain is that there is more to this story that hasn't been told.
Lie Detector, Truth or Deception premieres Thursday, July 10th at 9. A crime and investigation event only on
You can't
A&E.
be charged, right, or anything. So why wouldn't you do that? Like, if you're trying to promote this show, am I right? It's like, there you go. It's like, look at this crazy bitch,
So was she found not guilty? Did she get tried, or she was never even tried?
She was never taken to court for it.
So she could still go to court. Like, I don't know why she's talking to anybody. Is the statute of limitations up? You know what I mean? Like, why would she put herself out there for that?
I honestly don't know. I'm sure I don't know.
All I'm saying is, if she could still be tried, I wouldn't be saying nothing to incriminate myself.
Brendan, God, no. All right.
I don't know about RFK in 2028. I think it's right now, as it stands now, I think 2028 would need to be J.D. Vance. I think he's doing great as far as vice presidents. He's saying the right things, doing the right things. I can't see how he isn't in the lead now. And then as far as who you pick for vice president, I think, and if you're going to play politics with it, you would think it has to be a woman. I would think a woman governor or some other minority.
Not Rubio?
He's Secretary of State. It could be Rubio. It could be Vance Rubio. I like DeSantis.
Of course, DeSantis. He's always around it.
But, Vance, Tulsi, maybe. Yeah, that might work.
Tulsi's slipping, though, in popularity. Am I right?
Not with me. So, I don't know what people... Here's my thing. I think the fact that these people are slipping a little bit in maybe popularity, whatever you want to call it, is not necessarily a bad thing. Because I think the only reason they're slipping is because people had such high expectations for them. If they fall a little short, fuck them. They're not doing what they're supposed to. So I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing at that point. You know what I mean? I think people expected so much, and Rubio's delivering. So I could see him. He is. I never thought he'd be this good. He's doing great. I really am impressed with him. I like what Tulsi's doing. You know what I mean? I don't have any problem with it. Loadzzz Legend, come on. I think our only problem is we're from the same state. We'd have to get some sort of special dispensation and burn any videos from this show. I don't know.
I'll tell you, there's no question EK and Pete would fare well in the polls. Am I right? They're very big in the polls, talking about your penises.
Everybody
right?
gets now. Creep Boot, I would love that because I loves me some Christy Nome. But I don't know if she did too much damage because she shot a dog. I don't know if that ended
Loadzzz and Legend, L&L. Yeah, that's what it is. Little L&L.
Well, Johnny Claire, despite the fact they want everybody to vote in this country, I guess hey, according to the libs, you should be able to vote here. The only reason you can't vote in America is because you happen to be in England. But if you get on a plane in November and come over, the libs would want you to vote. That's how nuts they are. You get what I'm saying, Gene? The liberals, if you get in this country, they think you should have all the rights of a citizen because you got in.
By the way, how did I miss this? Our boy Cow Patty, fucking I'm on dope here. Cow Patty threw a dollar and bought a gifted. I'm losing my
Blood
mind.
Harvest, I'm with you on that. I said, as of now, J.D. Vance has to be the front runner, but who knows if he's going to do something.
Cal Patty said I should pay something for it. Thanks to Jam Stoneface for my gift. Love the Loadzzz stream more than prison sex. More to come. I mean, come. And there you go. Fucking gifted one subscription. And that went to Frankie McDonald's dad. Oh, you are the man. Thank you. But I don't know how I missed that. Oh, because it was right under
I just am tickled that who'd have ever thought in my career I'd be compared to being better than prison sex. I mean, are we talking a conjugal visit prison sex, or are you talking the most unholy of the unholies prison sex that's better than? I'm hoping we're going conjugal visit here. Because Costanza said that was great.
Who did?
Costanza on Seinfeld. Remember, he was dating the woman. There's no pop-in. There's no pop-in. She's in prison.
Unbelievable. What is this? Oh, by the way, our boy, Sweet Lou Monaco. It's not a week if you don't have a little fucking
G.
Scotty.
I didn't know Jaquan G was in South Dakota.
What?
It says, the real. I live in South. So the real JX2 lives in South Dakota, or Jaquan?
JJ, our boy JJ.
The real JX2.
That's just JJ.
I didn't know he lived in South Dakota. Well, you got the whole country covered here. We. I said we, Great Pumpkin. I said. Yeah,
By the way, it's not a week without Scott shitting on. Look at this. Watch as an entire panel of leftists attempt to shame Scott Jennings for supporting President Trump. Are you kidding me?
People like you have gone from being more aligned with a Mike Pence to being more aligned with Donald Trump. And explain that.
It's a good and valid question, but I don't see much disalignment. They have a personality conflict. Pence and Trump obviously had a falling out over a very serious issue, but on conservative orthodox policy stuff, the only real area where Trump has truly changed the party is on tariffs and trade. He believes in tariffs a lot more than any other president has since the early 1900s. And so that is a major difference in the platform. I acknowledge that. But on taxes, on the border, on pro-life, on having a strong military, and even now getting NATO strengthened with the 5%, helping Israel defeat Iran, he's not an isolationist. He is on many ways the same as every other Republican president of my lifetime and of your lifetime. There are some differences, but it's not as vast, I think, as you want it to be.
Donald Trump does not remind me of Ronald Reagan. And the Scott Jennings, who was a Republican growing up, working for Mitch McConnell, George Bush, and others, very respectable Republicans, would probably not even shake hands with the Scott Jennings that's sitting here today.
Well, I shook hands with Mitch McConnell this week. So
there's that arrogance
McConnell and
again,
Donald
by the way.
Trump work together to
they
change.
speak for everyone. Probably wouldn't even shake hands with you. Shut the fuck up, you
Right.
sore
And
fucking
you know what?
loser.
Good. Right. Don't shake
It's
hands with
lonely.
me. Right. By the way, just for the record, I'm getting more than I voted for. Just in case people want to ask me, is this what you voted for? Yes, I did. I voted for them to raid. I voted for them to raid the weed farm in California and get the 10 child laborers who are there illegally with no adults behind them in the country and get them out. I voted for that. I agree with him. The guy on the right is a douchebag, an arrogant F who thinks, people are still in that mindset of go along to get along and who cares what happens, whereas Trump really wants things corrected. Please. I'm sorry, Gene. Play the rest.
Oh, Peter,
I want to hear the
are you
rest.
out of your mind? Please go off, Pete.
Jennings, that's
No.
sitting here.
Well, I shook hands with Mitch McConnell this week. So, A. B. Mitch McConnell and Donald Trump worked together to change the Supreme Court and give us a 6-3 majority.
Look at the body language, just an automaton.
Yeah.
He's just an automaton. He's like, I shook hands with Mitch McConnell this week. And he really thinks when he says it, watch, I'll do, and I know we're on the same page, but he thinks this is going to cripple him because he's so dumb and he's so used to fucking people. He thinks people watch CNN and believe it. Watch.
And others, very respectable Republicans, would probably not even shake hands with the Scott Jennings that's sitting here.
Well, I shook.
That's the kind of shit they say when they're on the campaign trail and people are told to applaud. And he said it to an actual human being. And he's like, are you out of your fucking mind?
Again, with Mitch McConnell this week. So, A. B. Mitch McConnell and Donald Trump worked together to change the Supreme Court and give us a 6-3 majority to pass the tax cuts in 2017. Again, personal differences
do you think
are
Donald
different
Trump
than policy
showed
alignment.
respect to your former boss, Mitch McConnell?
Do I think
he's
he has shown
respected
respect to him?
Yeah.
Not always.
No.
If he asked you to find one day since his inauguration that he has not
Is that Fugle saying?
lied to you and your family, do you think you could do it? One day he's spoken publicly because he can't stop lying.
More arrogance. Oh, Fugles.
Okay,
This
wait
is
a minute.
another thing I love about the left. Look how awful he looks. That's John Fugel saying.
Who is
Maybe your
he?
boyfriend looks terrible.
Who is he?
He's a radio guy.
Who? What's his name?
Maybe I'm not saying he's not nice, but he's arrogantly talking on a CNN panel and he looks like shit. I'll find
What's
a
his
picture.
name?
Like Keanu used to do a show all the time.
Who is he? What is his name?
John Fugel saying.
Oh my God! All right. So at any rate,
there's a clip of him on Kevin Dabrowski's show shitting on me, but not in a mean way. Like Kevin would always open his show saying Gino Biscani, and then they'd shit on me. And he really committed to the bit. I don't mind him, except right now with his arrogance. What were you saying, Pete? I'm sorry.
McConnell is a piece of garbage, but he did. Trump at least got him to get these Supreme Court justices in. But by the way,
can you read that, Pete?
Pete just used the F word. It moved.
That's a dollar well spent, Scott the Dot. Go on.
Johnny
go on.
Claire, I agree with you. Both the Bush were awful, and Bush 1 was a dirty CIA op. He might. Hey, I'll put something out there. Maybe he had something to do with Reagan getting shot. That's how dirty I now believe Bush 1 was. Nasty guy. There's a perfect example. When he got elected, I was all about him. Like, oh, he's well qualified. He was former CIA. He knows everything. Now I'm like, oh my God, he knows everything. He was horrible. And his son was, I supported what he did. Now that I know better, I'm like, no, bad guy.
Did you
bad.
see the
very bad, man? Very bad.
Very bad. Did you see the video that's going around on AI? I retweeted it about 9/11 and shit.
No, but I do want to see the rest of this video because before I go
I
on,
lost audio. Keep talking. Tell them why I want to see it
before
while
I go
I
on,
retweet it.
when you talk, like he said, he got the Supreme Court justices in, and now it's 6-3. Supreme Court justices are simply supposed to rule on the Constitution. You read it, you make a ruling. It really shouldn't matter who nominates you. And this Ketanji Brown Jackson, even Sotomayor is calling her out for her dissents. Like, what are you doing? You're blatantly making this political. So it's amazing how that, although lately, generally the three justices nominated by Democratic presidents always vote in a block. The 6 justices nominated by Republican presidents do not always vote in a block. That's why sometimes you get 5-4, or they're all over the place. And even now, the 3 democratically nominated justices, they'll all vote against something. It'll be 6-3, but Ketanji Brown writes her own dissent. The other 2, who are trying to write something that at least appears legal, they write a dissent, and then she writes something that's crazy. By the way, they're supposedly going to have a case in the next session where they try and decide if men should be allowed to play in women's sports or something. And I don't know how Ketanji Brown Jackson can't recuse herself since she could not say what a woman was during her hearing. How can you rule?
Oh, she's
on
the worst, by the way. And you read these articles about her, like she is a DEI hire. She's another moment where it's like, I'm hiring a black Supreme Court justice. And that's fine if you're qualified. If you go, hey, Ketanji, whatever, Jackson Brown is the next thing, and everyone's like, great, and she's black. No, she's black. So you hired her, and she just says the dumbest shit. And there was an article by CNN. Normally, new judges have trouble like voicing their dissents and stuff. She doesn't, because she's an arrogant, fucking entitled twat who doesn't deserve the seat. You go. By the way,
I don't
of entitled twats. Fucking,
I don't disagree with that. And I love
how could you? I'm right.
I love the people who are like, well, you're saying somebody's a DEI hire. That's negative. Why? If DEI is so great, why is that a negative? You should be proud. I'm a proud DEI hire. As
by the
Clarence
way,
said.
thank you. Speaking of women that aren't cunts, hi Pam. That's Saint Ranger's wife. She just gifted 5 fucking subs. Thank you so much, Pam. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you for the roses.
Pam.
And by the way, little freebie from J Squared. Hey Pete, I don't remember if anyone has asked this, but why can't I get it to fit? Jesus Christ. But Jesus Christ, what the fuck? Oh, I don't know if anyone's asked this, but if any of your former high school students seen any of these shows about Eugene and the Pink Blanket, please enlighten the Loadzzz.
No, I have not heard from any of them. So my honest answer would be, I don't know. If they have, they've not gotten back to me. However, one of my son's friends, I was picking him up at a party on New Year's Eve, and he was asking something about the Eagles. He's like, well, look, I know how Pete feels about it. How does Max Loadzzz feel about it? So they are aware. I'm just not sure how aware. But I'm not sure if any of my former students have stumbled upon this. And I have not let any of them know it's out there. Oh my, I don't hate women. Where's that? I don't hate women. And by the way, I don't know that the caucus would have been better than Bush 1. I think they're just both so dirty. And I don't even remember who hanging. No. And I got to tell you, W, as it turns out, W and Gore was a lose-lose. That was a lose-lose. I think Al Gore would have just been horrendous.
All right, should we take a look at the rest of this big? Because I want to hear what your boy Fugel says. But again, this is just a guy that he's another guy that just didn't age well during COVID. He did not age well during COVID. Let's listen to this.
Lied to you and your family. Do you think you could do it? One day he's spoken publicly because he can't. If we asked you to find one day since his inauguration that he has not lied to you and your family, do you think you could do it? One day he's spoken publicly because he can't stop lying, Scott. And I do think the party's changed quite a bit. The Republican Party I grew up with would not delight in beating cops for a lie and then pardoning the people who beat the cops. I don't know what conservatism means anymore. This gentleman is the perfect.
What cops did they beat? Okay, they're
He's talking about the cops that got beat.
Yeah, January 6th, right?
It's a little okay. Yeah, they served. Everybody served their time. And they were railroaded into jail anyway, from what I know. January 6th was a CIA setup, so who cares? That's my look. If you want to believe it was all real, you know. Oh, by the way, somebody asked would I have been fired for this. It might have been Johnny Clare. Johnny Clare, I'm sure this would have been frowned upon a great deal. And,
that's the best one. I can't wait to tell my grandkids I used to make incest jokes about President Loadzzz.
And I would have never even Johnny Clare, when I was doing that job, I still don't post on Facebook because it's like PTSD from my former job. I don't post anywhere. I don't tweet anything because they told us if you even hit that thumbs up like button on something questionable and somebody brings it to the Board of Ed and they're like, Pete, why'd you do this? That's a little, you like there's a little spec, they could have got rid of me. And I didn't need the aggravation. And I didn't need my kids reading in the paper that their father's some sort of maniac. So I steered away from all of it. But yes, so when I retired, somebody in the box below me, now to the side of me, decided.
Did you say below me? But he can't get enough. See, he didn't say below. He forgot the E. in the box below me. Say it again.
Somebody decided there's a lot of.
Yeah, I'll tell you what box is going to. Peter, why don't you tell us which box below is going to below you tonight?
Somebody decided that he should do this with me.
Because he likes hanging out with his big brother.
That's what happened. I would have never.
It was one of those like, I don't talk to Pete. Would you? You got to be honest. Would you rather I never talk to you, Pete? Would you rather I didn't like involve you in all my
They've read the story. When I've gotten fired, Johnny Claire, I used to sit in my office some days and I'd hear the stuff he was saying, and I'd be thinking, what if you talk about do kids know about me? I'm like, what if kids figured out that this guy's my brother? And I got to sit there, and when I go to the Board of Ed, I told him, my only defense is, hey, look, man, the Unabomber's brother was let go. I had nothing to do. I can't control him. I was trying to think of my defense for when somebody came to me and said, is this your brother saying these things? Like, that's how bad it was. So, no, I would have done none of this in my previous job. It's unbelievable what is transpired. Because somebody can't just let you live your life.
You'd be bored if we weren't hanging out, big
brother.
Yeah,
I would go out to do it myself.
By the way, your running mate says, I don't know what it's like to be responsible. Wait, I missed one from your other guy. Hold on. Where'd our boy go? Hold on. Saint Ranger's now a monthly supporter. Thank you, Saint Ranger. Saint Ranger and Pam killing it for the good guys. There it is. Curtis John, Pete, second most famous political figure I shook hands with and had a meeting was Ron DeSantis, and we've showed that clip.
Yeah.
But my favorite political figure let me jerk off in the corner while his brother cranked his massive hog. I didn't show it? Was that not up? There you go. Jesus Christ. Good Lord. Isn't that a beaut? Look at that. Come on, Pete. Come on. That's a beaut. Hold on. Let me see if I can give that the, oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, hey, there you go. How many more ways can I say I've made it that I'm mentioned in the same sentence as Ron DeSantis?
That's pretty good. But my favorite, let me jerk him off. Oh, all right. Now, can we watch? I want to watch the rest of this because it's infuriating.
What's sick, Johnny Claire, is in my world at the time, yes, he was Unabomber bad. That's how bad it was. That's how I had to think of it. It was crazy. And by the way, people had no problems praising Obama and Democrats up one side, down the other. I'm sorry, go ahead, Gene.
Look at it. It's all the same face. Like they think they know something.
Perfect person to speak to what Mike Pence is going through. Because what does it mean? It doesn't mean family values. Doesn't mean the Christian values. Fiscal responsibility.
Again, we don't live in a theocracy. We live in a nation of laws, and we live in a nation of policy choices. Our policy choices today are basically the same as Republican policy choices, with the exception of tariffs, which I acknowledge. But this president, has done a lot of conservative stuff that people have always wanted.
She's such a useless idiot. She's just another talking fucking head.
Yeah, Pam, I was.
See this? By the way, did you? Oh, Mike. If you want to talk about, a fan sent me this.
Did you see this? Pam, I was in history.
What's that, Pete? I'm sorry, go.
No, Pam was a math teacher. My son wanted to be a math teacher. I was a history and civics teacher before I went into administration. Oof. Go ahead.
A Loadzzz question. Oh, did you, by the way, again, this is what you're like, is Loadzzz still boxing ladies?
Not this Loadzzz. That's a different
By the way, Derek Arabia. By the way, Derek, if you want that fucking library, you got one text there and say I sold it to you for $10,000 or something. But you got to be subbed on the Patreon. Look at this. This is another one of the things I remember about COVID, Pete, was good Lord, why is it not? Because again, my internet sucks. One of the things I remember about COVID, Pete, was like fucking the Gestapo that was the fucking stewardess is like, you're wearing a mask? You're wearing a mask? I used to sleep with my hat and whatever. But this is another fucking just psycho abuse of power. Wait till you see. Did you see this? A fan sent me this story today. God damn it. Sorry about that. 7-Eleven security guard sentenced 5 to 14 years in prison for killing a customer over COVID protocols. Look at this. Okay. So basically, A Las Vegas security guard was sentenced to spend between 5 and 14 years in prison. It should be a life sentence for shooting a customer outside a 7-Eleven convenience store. And again, this is the picture, Pete. This is the picture. She's literally, if you can't make this out, she's got a fucking gun in his fucking face. Gun in his face. This is a security guard at the 7-Eleven. What, Pete? I'm sorry, go.
Where do you live where 7-Elevens have security guards?
Pete, this was during COVID. This was during the craziness, and it was in Vegas, of course. Look at that. Okay. Keegan Mitchell tearfully apologized on Thursday after she entered an Alford plea for the August 2020 death of a 56-year-old man named Thomas Martin. Now, this is what she says, Peter. I did not mean to take this man's life. I did not, she cried in court. I'm truly sorry from the bottom of my heart, not your soul. You don't have one. The deal means she doesn't plead guilty to murder of Martin, but acknowledges that prosecutors may have enough evidence for conviction. Mitchell was tasked with regulating the number of customers, Peter. You remember deadly COVID permitted into the convenience store in Vegas on August 26 when he came in to cut the line and attempted to enter. Peter. Martin was, what's that, Pete?
Man?
Look at this. Then Martin was blocked and began complaining that Mitchell was refusing to let him in while she had allowed other customers. The two began arguing as Martin cursed at the security guard, threatening Mitchell before breaking past into the store. Mitchell grabbed and Mitchell, where is it? Jesus Christ. I hate it. Mitchell was, okay, I'm sorry. This is how awful the tags. Martin was blocked and began complaining. The two began arguing, threatening Mitchell before breaking past. Mitchell grabbed the angry customer and the two shoved each other before she took out a handgun and pointed in his face. This dumb bitch. The armed security guard led Martin out of the store with the gun inches from his head. He turned around and attempted to swat the gun when the shot rang out. Mitchell, who failed her first firearm safety test, was gifted the gun for Mother's Day. Now, when I say they're not people, that's not a human being. That's not a human being. She failed her firearm test, but she was given a gun for Mother's Day.
Where does she live?
Should spend the rest of her life in jail because, by the way, Martin, the grandfather, was waiting to meet his newest granddaughter when he was killed.
Where does maybe you were getting something for the grand? Where was that? What state was that? Where you can
Vegas?
Oh my God! Wow. Yeah. Well, what are you gonna do?
But you understand, and again, this isn't about her, Peter. This isn't about her color. She happens to be black, but this is about the fucking power trips people went on during COVID. This dumb cunt, right? Who, unfortunately, she learned how to use her thumb. Once they learned how to use your thumbs, that's when they can grab things, right, and fashion them into tools. And then when she can't fucking use her thumb to pass a fucking firearm test for Mother's Day, someone bought her a gun. And she shot a man. And there's things like, oh, I feel so bad. She should spend the rest of her life in jail because her job was protecting people from getting COVID, Peter, which is not deadly. But you know what is, Peter? A fucking bullet to your skull. It is about her color. No white woman is shooting a man for skipping the line. It is, she should, and Peter, I'm telling you, there were fucking people on airplanes all the fucking tourists are like, hey, you wearing a mask? Why aren't you wearing your mask? Shut the fuck up. People on subway trains and this fucking animale. This woman, you give her a gun and she went absolutely fucking ape. Look at her. Look at her.
Funny.
Look at her. Oh my funny. God. Look at her.
It's funny you should say that. Not unexpected because you go ape. That's your thing. But apparently, what's his name? Jaquan G asked, what planet of the apes is she from? Again, it's all in the chat. Johnny, no, evolution was not part of my history classes. The science teachers had to deal with that. White woman just pissed her whipple. By the way, power.
By the way, Peter. By the way, Pete. Really important. Her husband. Oh wait, here's the picture. There it is. By the way, Pete. Her husband could not be reached for comment.
See. Gene. Johnny Clare, let me rephrase. Yes, absolutely, I would have been fired. Right here, this is it. Yes. Now there'd have been no question. Pete, just give us the key.
She's married.
Yeah. See, yeah. Thanks, Johnny Clan. That wouldn't have helped. It would just be give us the keys. You're done. Continue with your little horse and pony show. By the way, unbelievable. Now there's more stories coming out on all these websites. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac chair urges Jerome Powell to resign. So the writing may be on the wall. And if he resigns, I got to say, I think that leans towards, they're moving towards doing some stuff at the Fed, I hope. You know what I mean? Like, if they can force this guy out, because that would be a big deal. And you put somebody in there.
We interrupt Peter to give some teacher props to his fellow teacher Pam from her husband St. Ranger. Peter, Pam graduated. Is it up? Why is it not up? I'm sorry. Pam graduated. God, I'm stupid. Summa cum laude and won all 4 top math and science awards. Was offered a job by the Air Force Intelligence. Turned down an IRS job she didn't like. And great in Texas Hold'em tournaments.
Yeah, that's what. That's outstanding.
Peter, tell him about the Hold'em tournament we had. I came in first. My wife just said, oh my God.
See, why? So Hold'em is now Hold'em.
Now Pam's correcting her husband. I love her. Math, science, and engineering, St. Ranger. You dummy.
Hold'em is now out of the lexicon. Can't do that anymore. Great job, Pam. And Pam, a card counter. I wonder if Nick could do that. The math classes he's taken are ridiculous. Pam would know. And he said, I'm going to go to the, I'll go to the stuff they have for other jobs you can get with a math degree. But he's leaning towards teaching because, as Pam can tell you, right there, you get a math degree, it carries some weight. I think he's taking physics this year.
Thank you, Pam.
Too.
Thank you very much, Pam. It's very funny.
Yeah,
my Hold'em joke.
Poker in the front. There we go. He's taking some sort of,
Only when I was playing Hold'em, Pete was all out. He wasn't all. He was all in. He was all out. Am I right? Oh yeah, I went all out. Out. I went all out completely, totally, Pam. Totally out, Pam.
I'm going to tell you right now, you could be no more wrong. You could be no more wrong than you are, and that's wrong in every way. What the hell is wrong?
I'm terrible at actual poker. Yeah.
I'm not a fan of Hold'em. I like the other games of poker, like night baseball and high low Omaha, all the crazy guys. The Hold'em is
Oh, guts is the worst. I hate guts.
I don't mind guts because I don't stay in. I just drop. Unless I have a pair of jacks or better, I drop. That's right. I don't mess around. If I get beat with a pair of jacks, so be it. We were playing one time. Your boy Mongo, he stayed with 2 kings, and the other guy dropped 2 aces.
Oh,
it was outstanding.
He could not have been happy about that.
He was not happy. I thought it was quite funny. Yeah, my favorite poker is in her cooter. This is
not bad.
I'm looking at a pair of queens.
Maybe
it all worked. It all worked.
Oh, it's okay. I didn't hear you say that. No biggie. Not like I need it.
Yes, go fish. That I would play that. I can play those games.
$7,000 in high school. What kind of life have you lived?
High school did you go to? Geez, $7,000. I wasn't even playing poker in high school.
Oh my God. Lord.
$7,000. I missed the one night they were playing poker. I missed it when they were playing that. And guy had to go and get money out of his bedroom. But that was your boy, Gene.
What's that?
Who had to go get the money because he lost. And so we just limit the pots. We had to limit the pot at one point. So it never gets above like $25. So it got crazy.
Sounds like it got a little crazy there, Loadzzz.
Yeah, that I didn't, Well, I remember playing at Aunt August with everybody.
Yeah, Uncle
and we were
Frank
playing
and
that
stuff. That was a
high.
good
That,
time.
yeah, we're playing that high low. How can I lose? You hit the post. You got to double the pot. That ridiculousness. Or call pot. Either. And when would you call pot? I can't
don't even know.
remember. Yeah, I can't even remember now. Was it when 5-card draw is a man's? I don't mind 5-card draw, but something's got to be wild. I can't stand playing with nothing wild. Don't like nothing. I got to play something wild. It's too hard otherwise.
Like Maxine gets on her birthday. Am I right, Loadzzz?
Right. If that's what you're going to say. Wild, also out of the lexicon.
That's good stuff. Oh, come on. That's good stuff. Oh. All right. Well, there you go. That's a 2.5-hour fucking hang. Did we cover everything, Loadzzz?
I think we did. Anybody in the chat, anything we missed? That's what's amazing. There's so much going on. You got to ask. But I think we got everything, and we're getting out in time for Mr. White to make his teriyaki tips.
Ooh. King of Spades, thank you. Max likes working his dealer's choice.
Yes, AC Ducey. That's the high-low, right? That's
AC Ducey is high-low, right?
Yeah, where you hit the post, right? Because ace is high, deuce is low. So that's when you would call pot because you couldn't lose, and then it'd be an ace or a deuce, and you have to double the pot. Hey, anytime I could get you through the last couple hours of work on a Friday, no problem. Good evening. Yes, good evening.
Wait, quick dollar from Cal Patty. Quick dollar from Cal Patty. Have you seen my wiener? Y'all rock and fags are wrong.
Hey,
just kidding. Y'all rock.
Johnny,
have you seen my wiener? Just kidding. Y'all rock and fags are wrong. There you go. He gets drunk. I love it.
What was this soccer game? Maybe Johnny Clare could fill me in. What is this Confab Cup? And does that have anything to do with the World Cup? The U.S. soccer team, men's, just lost to, I think, Mexico in the championship game of this Confab Cup thing. And I don't know if that relates to the World Cup or not.
It does. Like, there's so many leagues. Here you go, Pete. The CONCACAF is the CONCACAF Champions Cup, formerly known as the CONCACAF.
Yeah, like I don't even know what that is.
There you go. I don't even know. Does it have scores?
Yeah, Johnny, is it related to the World Cup in any way, or is it just I don't even know what that stands for. CONCACAF. I forget how to play spades. We used to play that in college all the time. All right, thank you, Johnny. North American.
You went to Cabrini. There weren't any spades at that college.
And that's incorrect, by the way. And I cannot remember.
I don't know what's the right one, and it's not related to the World Cup. Thank you, T. Kilge.
Thank you. Thank you for clearing that up, gentlemen. I appreciate that. It frustrates me that with all the kids playing soccer from the time they're 5 in this country, we can't compete and win at the World Cup level. They got the championship in that. Maybe that's moving on. So, I'll see you.
Yeah, Blood Harvester. That's right. We got the show. Should really be promoting that better. God. Another.
Nice. So now I know it's actually Confederation of North Central America and the Caribbean. Okay. And Gene, I'm going to tell you one last time. This is an opportunity you got this weekend. Do not mess it up for you.
Oh, please. Peter, we'll see. I understand. In a perfect world, it is. We'll see. Okay? We'll fucking see.
Well, it's not a perfect world, but this is an opportunity.
We'll see. I always capitalize. Peter, when's the last time I flubbed an opportunity? Seriously. When's the last time?
I can't remember the last time.
No, Daddy shows up. Daddy doesn't mail it in. And then people are being inopportune. I'm like, go fuck yourselves.
I understand you don't mail it in.
Daddy doesn't mail it in. Now here's the thing. Bob Van Patrice just gifted 5 subs. So we got to keep going because that is, hold on, because that bar stays up a while. Hold on. Why can't I fucking find it? There you go. But here's my point, Pete. Look at that. Bob Van Patrizzle. Thank you so much, buddy. And Jake Wan G, thanks, guys. And your running mate. What is this? You missed this. What did I miss? Share this tab and said, wait, I better not. Yeah. Oh, my God. According to, thank you, buddy.
Oh,
he's right. We did miss this. Metadata shows the FBI's raw Jeffrey Epstein footage. Prison video was likely modified. And another thing I heard is like, yeah, they did that because, and I don't know, what do we think of Wired magazine? Is that like legit?
I have no idea. By the way, and I want to hear this, so much going on. The 13th is the 1-year anniversary when they shot at Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania.
Really? I thought that was the 30th.
No, July 13th. It was a Sunday, and I was home in the kitchen because I used to play that crazy-ass softball league, and it was in the afternoon, so I had played. I was all cleaned up. I was cooking or something, and I was watching it. It's crazy. But that's how Wired is legit, but leans left. There you go. So go ahead. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like Pam Bondi said that minute that was
Mr.
missing.
White, I checked it. Thank you. You sent me $20, right? Thank you so much, buddy. Thank you for my roses.
They said that something was they said that a minute or something was missing, because that's when they switched tapes out.
Yeah, and I heard like that's another. I heard that's another part of the fucking loaded gun where they're like, hey, you know, we took that minute out, but we can put it back in and fuck with the deep state. That's what I heard. You know, because it's unheard of that. You know, this is a we refresh it every night, and there's an hour missing. It's not that. All right, let's see what this says really fast. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on, Pete, if I may. Put it up here. Take that down. Everyone still uses tape. Metadata shows that the FBI's raw Jeffrey Epstein prison video was likely modified. There's no evidence the footage was deceptively manipulated, but ambiguities around the video's process may further fuel conspiracy theories about Epstein's death. And then you can't get it without the thing. All right, you got to be signed in. I'm not signing in. Fuck that.
Yeah, I mean, that's always to me until you get an unmodified, like they can prove it's not modified, which I don't even know how you do that now. That's always going to be questioned. You know what I mean? It's always going to be questions. I mean, how can you not question that the guards fell asleep or whatever reason they gave you, and his cellmate was moved out and he hung himself from a 3-foot-high bed? Like, it's just going to be hard to not always question that.
The U.S. Department of Justice this week released nearly 11 hours of what it described as full raw surveillance footage from the camera positioned nearby Jeffrey Epstein's prison cell the night before he was found dead. The release was intended to address conspiracy theories about Epstein's apparent suicide in federal custody, but instead of putting those suspicions to rest, it may fuel them further. Metadata embedded in the vid and analyzed by Wired. How about if you just say, baby, you can bite my wire? Never gets old to me. An independent vid forensic expert showed that rather than being a direct expert for the prison surveillance system, the footage was modified, likely using the professional editing tool Adobe Premiere Pro. The file appears to have been assembled from at least 2 source clips, saved multiple times, exported, then uploaded to the DOJ's website, where it was presented as raw footage. So something is amiss. Something is less than transparent, if you would, Peter.
Is that proven?
That it's unclear what exactly was changed. And then I'll get to you, Pete. Let me finish this just for our thing. And then the metadata does not prove deceptive manipulation. What other kind is there? The video may have simply been processed for public release using available software with no modifications beyond stitching together 2 clips. I do not believe that. But the absence of a clear explanation for the processing of the file using professional editing software complicates the Justice Department's narrative. In a case already clouded by suspicion, you think, the ambiguity surrounding, I like saying it wrong, how the file was processed is likely to provide fresh fodder for conspiracy theories. Your thoughts, Loadzzz?
Yeah, I don't know why they're still running. Like, was that taken from videotapes and they stitched it together? Because it should all be. Yeah, it should all be digital at this point. How does that prison not have a digital camera system running? We actually had them in the school, and it made a huge difference. Like, you can't tell me the New York prison system on that particular thing, the fact that it's not digital and it's tape is ridiculous. When you have that high, level of a suspect and everything. So yeah, the Butler shooting. Somebody said something. Yeah, Gene. So I don't know. I think it's always going to be questioned until something flat out comes out that shows. And I don't know what people want to hear. Like, this is one of those questions. What do you need to see? And this is something everybody has to answer for themselves. What do you need to see or hear to be satisfied that you have the information that's available? And I think everybody's going to answer that differently for themselves. By the way, I did know that kid, the shooter, was in a BlackRock commercial. Johnny Claire put that out there. And
I think that was common knowledge.
By the way, the Butler shooting, there's another thing. So with the Epstein, you got the videotape, the guy taken out of his cell. He had met with a lawyer 2 days before, and yet he still kills himself. In Butler, you got the kid was in BlackRock commercials. He had 6 phones. They can't get into any of them. His body was taken away and burned up before they could look at it anymore. You know, the Butler thing was totally an FBI setup, CIA, whatever. Totally a deep state setup. They knew he was there for a half an hour and still let Trump go out on the stage. There's too many things there that can be defended. What's a
Yeah, it was 500. I can't believe we just thought of that. The Photoshop was $500.
I was going to say that $500 Canadian.
Oh my goodness!
I mean, our school went, and because I remember we had the videotape, and you're supposed to change it out, and then in the middle 2010s, we even went to digital. By the time I was leaving, we had digital where you could zoom in and stuff. You know. What's our homework? I don't know, Jake. What did I say could be homework? But at any rate, Epstein nonsense is perfect. Focus on this every day and ignore the real issues. Derek of Rivia. That's what I wonder about.
What's that, Pete?
Derek of Rivia. Like, is the Epstein stuff taking your eye off the ball of all this other stuff? And Diddy, by the way, Diddy getting convicted for just prostitution and nothing else? Why would Epstein get convicted of anything? Diddy was doing the same thing as Epstein, and he got off, so to speak. Like, doesn't what Diddy did make it all like he was moving people across state lines? They didn't catch him for that. And amazing, Comey's daughter was the only person you could find to prosecute a case that they didn't want a guilty verdict in, or Diddy might have spilled the beans on everybody. You can't make it up.
I feel you, dog. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
I love Fitzy McFitzy. He went from golfing and wins for $400 in Bermuda to what were you zooming in on?
Come on.
Oh, Blood Harvester. I can't tell you the purpose of homework. I went round and round with people on that. So I'm just going to let that sit there. If you want me to talk about homework, that could be next week.
Good Lord. Good question, Fitzy. All right. I think we covered everything that was sent to us by Sweet Lou Monaco Breaking 911. We did that. I'm sorry, Pete, you go. What?
No, just have a great weekend, everybody. I appreciate everybody watching. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
That's I appreciate it. Gene, drive safely out to
Oh, my God. By the way,
never.
St. Ranger's wife.
Answer that. Hey, Jaquan G, never did I sign homework on a weekend over a vacation, extended vacation. I barely assigned homework, never over those periods.
Tiana, you should come say thank you to St. Ranger's wife, Pam, who just sent $50. She said, have fun tomorrow at the Comedy Club. Take Keanu out for supper. Cheers, St. Ranger and Pam.
Yes, and St. Ranger, I agree. They should have had a lot of backups.
What's that?
Yeah, St. Ranger's right. They should have had a ton of backup systems at that place.
By the way, we have to leave really early because he moved the first show to 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Are you kidding me?
What?
Okay. Drive safe.
The comedy show is at the Funny Farm.
I know what's going on.
It's at 8 o'clock at the Funny Farm. Buy tickets now. There you go, Larry Bay, 8 p.m. But he moved the whatchamacallit, the VFW benefit, I think it's for him, to 5 o'clock. So, get up at 6, throw her in the car. I mean, maybe we could leave late tonight and try and get a hotel halfway there. But I'm not worried about it either way.
All right.
Oh, okay, never mind. Baby, I'm not worried. Like, it's... Yeah, well, I just got the thing a few minutes ago.
Just look.
You're embarrassing, baby. I always agree with my wife, Pete. Pete, I'll tell you what I never disagree with, my wife.
Listen, just get there safely. See what I did?
You have to go. Don't make me. Hold on. Larry just sent me his headshot, Pete. To make sure you catch me and Larry Bay.
Oh my God!
Football helmet again.
Listen, genius. Just get there safely and back. We may, if we have a. By the way,
what have I said to you since? And I would always say it to Aunt Olga. If you're going to worry about me driving, you're going to make yourself nuts because
I think. By the way, I agree with my running mate EK Legend. You slip out about 9 o'clock tonight. You either get all the way there, halfway there, and then you roll it in the morning. But it's easier to me to drive. Like we drive to Florida, we leave like 2 in the morning because it's easier to drive from dark to light for me than reverse. So have a good show. Good luck. That's it. I got nothing. I appreciate everybody coming out in the comments.
Peter, like we're the sum of everything that puts us here, and I've been working. Like my act has evolved. Like it was silly, and then COVID hit, and I was right about stuff, and it evolved, and I became more conservative, and the more I was right about shit, the more they fucking push back, and I fucking have all the receipts, and that is my act now. So when Larry serves this up to me, as long as everything he's telling me is true, then there's no reason for me not to knock it out of the park. Is that fair?
Tell
him, Larry. Let him know, Larry.
That's not fair. That's wrong.
Peter,
I think
this does look exactly like Larry. I can't believe Larry Bay is right here next to me. I'm Peter Bisconti, and this is Larry.
I would just say the next time we're going to be in Florida will probably be Thanksgiving 2026. I don't know where SummerSlam is.
Freddie, what did you send me? Oh, Peter.
EK Legend, I always hit up.
I know where SummerSlam is. SummerSlam is in my pants. Am I right? That's where SummerSlam is going to be tonight. Yes, it is. In my pants. In my pants. In my pants.
All right. I'll just say, yes, I love South of the Border. Me and the boys actually stopped and stayed over at South of the Border. Oh my God, tremendous. But I love Buc-ee's, as everyone knows. So yeah, when I get down there, I'm sure you'll know if we're still doing this in 2026. Everybody will know. So, you know.
Oh, I know. I know.
That's it. And go
Pete, let me explain this clever joke. When he hitchhikes, he's just sucking dick. J Ham is
I
just
get it.
sucking.
Gene.
You can't get it or you'd be laughing. You're not laughing this hard. You can't possibly. His jaw hurts for days because when he's going at it. He's going at it.
Here's the thing. That is why I like this chat. Everybody gets it. You don't have to explain it. We all get it. You find that funny because you have problems.
It's the funniest line. I don't know why. It's one of the best lines. It's so stupid and obvious. I can't stand it.
I was not the done. Yes, I do like Buc-ee's. So, all right, Gene.
Oh, Freddie from Phoenix. Yes. Okay, this guy. Thank you, Freddie. I go to my PayPal today to see if the Rumble funds are in, and there's $50 sitting in there, and it is from Freddie from Phoenix. Freddie, but I don't want to dox him with his last name. I didn't realize that was you, Freddie from Phoenix. Thank you so much. This guy sent me $50. That's fantastic. Little gas money. And well, that's the other thing. We're definitely streaming some of the ride tomorrow from your thing, but yeah. But and then I'll buy her dinner because Pam sent $50. Because you are just the best people in the world. Basically 3 hours. Thank you for that. Pam, I owe you some time for the next show, but we have to wrap it up. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, again, thanks everybody.
That's a show, and
we'll see and so we'll see. Maybe by the time we meet again, Powell will be gone. Maybe Bondi will be gone. Who knows? all these questions and more answered on the next episode of Soap.
Doo-doo.
Yeah.
Doo-doo.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend.
We are at the Funny Farm. I'll do the plugs real fast. Funny Farm tomorrow night. And then make sure you start getting the tickets for this. Another round of comedy. Me and Keanu, if you're in the Richmond area, we'll be hanging out with Bob, Fan, and Patrice, all that good stuff. In the meantime, let's just say one last time, thank you so much, Bob, Fan, and Patrice. You're very welcome, Jaquan G. And thank you, Pam. Dance us off. Oh, wait, I didn't even do the right thing. There you go. There you go. Share this tab. Thank you, Bob, Fan, and Patrice. Thank you, Jaquan. Thank you, Pam. Dance us off, Loadzzz. We'll dance off with the Pam thing on it because that's really generous. Thank you so much.